media houses in the world, the BBC does not post things unless it's been authenticated. And that's why, as a journalist, in my 30 years of journalism, I spent 11 years in Nigeria. I start with the date and the time. Some people laugh at it. Oh, Kemi Olunloyo, 28th of June, 22. You have to authenticate date and time so that you know the day you did that. This is why I brought out all the tweets that I did when Naira Marley and MOHBAD were fighting, and they beat MOHBAD up, and that poor boy ended up in the hospital with a very high blood pressure. If you notice, I was the only journalist in that whole country that was tweeting back and forth to him. I even invited a doctor into the tweet thread, and the doctor came and said, look at his oxygen saturation. Talo Lubai. Any koko sorrow. Industry dake. Okay, let's go on. Back to the police. I found a video which sounded like Sam Larry's voice, and the voice said, Otiwa Mortuary, all stations settled. I wanted to authenticate that. That was fake. They used Sam Larry's voice on AI. This is what they call forensic, okay? I can't show anybody anything. I'm reading some of these comments as I'm trying to talk. Show us what Ben Hondain said. You can tweet Ben Hondain. Don't act like a fool. Okay, this is why I say Nigerians are smart but not intelligent. Start using your intelligence. We're supposed to be the most intelligent in the world. I promote Nigerians are the most intelligent people in America. What I found in this investigation is shocking to the core, okay? That I've sent a message to Obaile Gushi because I want to ask him a question. On September 15th.
Don't call no names, please. Thank you.
Okay, don't call any names. I'll just say Oba. When I say that king of Ikate, I'll just say Ikate king, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
This is where my problem lies. But guys, listen. So on the 16th of September, I gathered all the multimedia I had and I showed it to the police. Then Marwa called me. The spokesman to the NDLA called me and asked me if I still have a record of the interview I did with Cool FM after the Malian house was raided in February of 2022. Marwa's office, Mr. Femi Babafemi, he now asked me and I said, yes, I have it. I actually have everything I do out there in media. So I contacted Manny in Cool FM. And I said, Manny, that interview you did with me, I'm submitting it to the NDLA. What I didn't know was that Yabo and Tonto, can I call their own names? First names?
Yeah, you can. Go on. Go.
That's very important. What I didn't know was that Yabo and Tonto had done a video and was viral all over the internet that the NDLA poisoned MOHBAD. What Yabo and Tonto didn't know was that is why we have to authenticate things. What they didn't know was that this information that they're putting around about MOHBAD at the NDLA drinking something out of a bottle was not 2023. It was February 2022. And I was involved in that. When the Malian house was raided, they found 12 people sitting on the ground with a big stash of drugs at the end of the room, and everybody was smoking. The whole room was smoking. Somebody snitched. And the NDLA came and raided. In that video, I posted the video. A woman was running towards one of the agents, shouting, and that agent was carrying a gun. Another woman was shouting behind that woman, Wumi, stop, because the guy was holding a gun. In America, the DEA does not have time. If you're approaching a DEA agent that's carrying a gun, they'll shoot you, finish. At the end of the day, it was Wumi. She was in the room with the people doing the drug party. Everybody was all doing it. Now, let me tell you something. I'm looking at these comments. I really don't give a F. Okay, I'm not here for fans attacking this because this is why all you ladies were fighting. I almost left this live. I do Twitter spaces all the time. This afternoon, I'm going to be on NDLA spaces again. It's the 100th edition. We're going to be talking to the chairman. He asked them to call me. So I know these kind of settings, like spaces. You don't see people's faces, but you're hearing their voice. I don't have time for all these arguments. I'm going to tell you where the problem lies. Because as I'm sitting here now, immobilization, is that your name, host? I'm giving you, as I'm sitting there, I'm a very big influencer and I'm giving you exposure. And you need that exposure. You deserve that exposure. If I come on somebody's live, I get a lot of requests to come on somebody's live. I don't. But I'm giving this young lady exposure because she has patience and I've been watching her. So now at the end of the day, after compiling all the multimedia, the police side is supposed to be verifying who made this video, what's real, what's fake. So many things came out. With MOHBAD's voice, Tebatife Pamiton, Tebatife Shele Simi, all kinds of stuff. We have to authenticate everything. Did he really say this to Wumi? You know, where's my phone? Everything was authenticated. So when I finished my investigation November 30th, I contacted the CP. Obonha was trained in the US, the UK, Israel, and another European country. He's what you call the definition of a modern police officer. Obonha rejected my report. Not that he told me, Dr. Kemi, I'm rejecting this report. No, they ignored it because I found the killer. With my full chest, I tweeted the name of the killer 6 times. Am I allowed to say who I this is no allegations. I won't mention. Should I mention or should I not mention what I found? Because you can always go to Twitter. Okay, let me do it this way. I tweeted.
Okay.
I tweeted.
You have evidence to that?
I tweeted the person's name. Okay, you will see it on Twitter. Blah name killed MOHBAD. Blah killed MOHBAD. Blah killed MOHBAD. I wrote it 10 times. It's on my Twitter. It's there. You can go and see it. Okay, I didn't say allegedly killed. Killed. That's what I say. You're sure of that. At that point, okay, I know what I did because this is mirroring what happened with Tago in the Davido case. What Demola Adeleke did not know was I was actually in Imohini's office. I was inside Imohini's office, the former chief of police of Lagos, when Demola called, as well as the Oba of Lagos, Akiolu. I'm going to mention their names. Okay, they told Imohini that he must be very careful with Davido. Don't mess with our son. So with Kemi Olunloyo in the room of a police commissioner, the only thing I wasn't doing was I wasn't pressing record. I don't know what makes me do that. Those are times where you should really press record. I heard it with my own ears. There are powerful people in Nigeria who we call police and influence cases. So when I exposed this stuff that your king in Lagos called so that they can protect Davido, the following week I was rearrested and went to Port Harcourt prison, my second arrest. When I came out, I now saw a video that Imohini said Davido in fact lied to us about where Tago was. This is mirroring that case. They are influential people. There are 2 politicians, okay, 1 king, and a very, very rich businessman in this case of MOHBAD. I have just released a write-up on Twitter. The write-up is very, very inflammatory, and it's about Zlatan. Everybody should go read it. I'm going to read it out for you. When I say inflammatory, it wouldn't get your show blocked or anything.
Okay.
But you need to know these things because MOHBAD was one of the people that really disliked me. MOHBAD did not like me. Some people are saying,
When he was alive.
A lot of people don't like Kemi Olunloyo. That's a known, okay? But in the case of MOHBAD, let me say this to you. My children are 37, 33, and 24. 2 of them are in the music business. The 33-year-old said, Mommy, why are you doing this case? Why are you even bothering to investigate this case? This was in September when I started. The 23-year-old did not want me in this case. Why did MOHBAD like me? Because of some things I discovered after he died. I was shocked to the core. Just like I discovered that Yabo was collecting money to keep me in prison so that he can join the case. It's the same way. Naira Marley came to Tiwa Savage's funeral. I asked him, I said, Naira, sense of entitlement. That's how I said to you.
Tiwa Savage's funeral?
Naira Marley came to Tiwa Savage's funeral, father's funeral.
Okay.
And I went to Naira and I said, finally I meet you. It was the first time I met Naira Marley, September 3rd, 2021. I haven't seen him and I have not spoken to him since. And I said, sense of entitlement, Naira, Kilo Shele, Fumilo birthday this year. Naira gave me a birthday gift in 2019 on my 55th. It was lavish. Toyilawani and Pretty Mike sponsored it. It was all over the internet. He gave me money. He posted me on his story. The next year, same thing. Gave me money, posted me on the story. The next year, there was no party because of the pandemic. Mercy Eke was going to throw the party. And Mercy said her own stylist was going to do me. One guy, Jerry, Swanky Jerry. We could not do it because of the pandemic. So Tiwasari decided to come on my live on my birthday and sing happy birthday to me. And Naira Marley came on. A lot of people came on that particular live. And I archived it. I keep all these things for the future. And of course, Naira posted me again, gave me money. So I now meet Naira in person for the first time. And I was like, Naira, send the bed to see me this I'm broke. You know what he said? He said, I'm on your map, He sent me the DM. I send you 500K. Like, he will send me 500K that night. If you know what 500K means in 2021, you will appreciate it. So Naira did not send that 500K. I didn't see it. Naira, a whole week, go to send 500K now. Naira never replied me. And he was reading my messages. You know how you read. He doesn't have his read thing off. He was reading my messages. So I didn't know. I just left it alone. You leave things alone and you move on. And that was when? September of 2021. February of 2022, the Marlians were raided in their house. Chairman Mariwa was in America having back surgery. It was me, Kemi Oluloyo, that contacted Naira Marley. This time on WhatsApp. Naira, they just raided your entire house. They've arrested a lot of people. And MOHBAD got away. He just surfaced now. And he just did a video. If anything happens to me, blame Marlian Music and Naira Marley. You need to get home now. Naira was in Sweden. How did I know he was in Sweden? Because I had told him, I said, come and do a song with my son. My youngest son is an artist. When a big artist does a song with an upcoming artist, they blow. He promised me, okay, mom, it's about today. So I knew he was in Sweden. I now messaged him on WhatsApp. The thing went blue, meaning that he read the message. Come home now. So Naira contacted the NDLA, everything. In between that, Cool FM called me and I did an interview on what exactly happened there. And then the NDLA was getting ready to prosecute these kids. And I was concerned about two of the people they arrested. You know who I was concerned about? I was concerned about Zinoliski and MOHBAD. Why? Because they're artists. If they're prosecuted by the NDLA and that judge finds them guilty, like they found DeGeneral guilty, comedian DeGeneral was found guilty. That one came out of court laughing in the car. I didn't go to jail. He did not know that being found guilty is worse than not going to jail. If you're found guilty of drug trafficking in Nigeria, you cannot apply for a visa. Again, there is no country that will give you visa. Have you ever been convicted of a crime? Yes. Explain below. Drug trafficking. Oh, Lord. So knowing that, I wanted to avoid that because these boys were very good. MOHBAD was the songwriter for Marlian Music. He wrote every song in that house for every artist. MOHBAD was talented. We have only 3 good songwriters in Nigeria that will go international level. Because I went to Canada for 5 years and I was a member of the Canadian music industry. We have something called SOCAN. You guys can go on Twitter. Everything is online. SOCAN. Okay, Song Association of Canada. It's a hall of fame. They give them awards. Even the Grammys give the songwriters awards. Those 3 people are Teniola Akpata, Tiwa Tokpe, Savage, and MOHBAD, Ilerioluwa Aloba. Those are the best songwriters in the history of Nigeria. I'm telling you. So knowing that songwriters make a lot of money and everything, there were places MOHBAD was trying to be. It was Sophie in your America to pro and let's improve life. A bit toxicology test in Los America before you. This is the reason, the same reason why my oldest son said, Mommy, all these people you don't like, that don't like you, you ended up being the one investigating their cases. Hush puppy, that's another show. But what happened with MOHBAD is that when I didn't get the 500,000, I moved on. So I'm trying to make a music, whatever, for my son. Naira Marley arrives tweeted on the plane that I'm not really happy the way NDLA beat up my artists, blah, 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 blah. Not knowing that they didn't arrest all his artists. He did not know. That's why people bring that tweet out cursing the NDLA. Naira did not know when he tweeted that stuff that they did not arrest MOHBAD. Because I, as a journalist, I got the list of all the people they arrested from the NDLA and I went on Cool FM. So Nkota NDLA, she was vindicated me because I had that video, I had the audio from the radio interview, and I had the list. So I now saw this email that went to Femi Babafemi and was forwarded to me by Chairman Buba Marwa, and it was the list. And you can see that the person that sent the email is an agent. Oga, these are the people we arrested during the raid. MOHBAD's name was not on there. So that really fucked up. Excuse my language. I don't want them to cut you off. That really effed up.
Yeah.
That really effed up Tonto and Iyabo. Iyabo and Tonto were very lucky. I'm telling you, I am the best. No one can praise me. I praise myself. I am the best investigative journalist. Iyabo and Tonto were very lucky. At that point, Marwa was angry. Okay? After that list came out, the agent sent everything. Marwa called the DSS. Do you remember they said the DSS has entered the investigation? They were about to arrest Iyabo. They were about to arrest Iyabo and Tonto for defaming Marwa. Marwa is not going to go to police, cybercrime, all of that. Straight to the DSS. We're talking about the leader of the drug agency, and you just told the world on the internet that he poisoned MOHBAD. DSS does not release people in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, so they release people in 3 years. They were very lucky. Oh. So the NDLEA guy, after I was done with him, okay, after I was done with him, he now told me that, you know, the NDLEA wrote me a letter that thanked me for having all the records and everything. Did any Nigerian journalists do this stuff? Was any Nigerian journalists investigating this thing? No, they don't, because they work for the media houses that turn them into puppets. And many of those media houses are owned by politicians, businessmen, and kings. So they can report everything. This is why we, the independent journalists, can report everything, but we don't have the money. They have the money, we don't have the money. So I resort on donations. I spent $7,500 on MOHBAD's investigation. That's why I promote Facebook monetization a lot. Oh, one in Facebook. Nigeria. Oh, one in Facebook. Okay, Nigeria is monetized now. Ghana got monetized today, and people are not even, they're not even bothering. Everybody just is waiting for someone to teach them. Go and pay, invest in your life. But investigation MOHBAD. Mommy, you can use that money for other things. I know that. I'll be 60 next month. I can use it to go and have a birthday party in Dubai or somewhere. But at the end of the day, I wanted justice for somebody that didn't like me. While we were in Lagos, Naira, why bomb mommy showing? My bomb mommy showing. Me go from Naira. But during the time, you see, you have to be very, very attentive to get how I speak, because most Nigerians don't think outside the box. I'm going to take you back to that NDLEA raid. Mara was having surgery. They were about to arraign them in court, and I stopped it. I called Femi Babafemi and I wrote a letter. Femi Ejema, prosecutor, rehab. I will organize everything. Rehab. Let them do rehab. There is an option of rehab or prosecution at the NDLEA, but they don't offer everybody rehab. I can tell you right now, they don't offer drug dealers rehab. Drug dealers don't use drugs. They sell it and ruin other lives. So I wanted these guys to go to rehab. So I organized it with the NDLEA. Zeno came out of rehab. You saw him in the car, and he said, I'm home, say no to drugs. I wrote the PSA. Now, Temo. My second degree is public relations management. I wrote the PSA, and Zeno said, don't do drugs anymore. He said the PSA, and that solved that one. The same thing with MOHBAD. But Ojo MOHBAD, in October 5th, 2022, ni MOHBAD one sorrow hospital pemba to NDLEA one phone in bottle water with white stuff. Please, guys, I'm a drug expert. I was the director of pharmacy at Johns Hopkins, outpatient drug rehab. What was in that bottle is a mixture of drugs for detox. Okay, Flexeril, ibuprofen, and other things. So he was describing it to someone in the video. Tonto and Iyabo grabbed the video and they turned it into NDLEA don't poison him. You got to know how things work. He was describing what I helped them do with the NDLA. When they were now clean, they released them. No prosecution, no nothing. So that they'll be able to go to all the African festivals. Look at Area Star. Look at Thames. Look at all the African artists traveling up and down. Tiwa Savage. Elomi ti call us abroad. Asake. Olamide Fireboy. Ewafeki Zino àti MOHBAD Hasile. Torí pé wọ́n ṣe drugs. I helped them. After all that was over, believe it or not, within the circle of the music industry, you guys don't know all this stuff. I'm giving you an exclusive host. Within the music industry confines, after all what I did, Naira Marley never said thank you one time. Naira never thanked me for everything I did with them and the NDLA and the rehab and everything. They nearly need Naira to say, mommy, thanks, so we'll save Guguyi from the hands of whatever. But what is it worth? It needs to move on. So on the day that my son wanted to go and do a song with Rexy, Kaede was Rich KJT, he was practicing Afro beats. My child cannot speak in Yoruba. He understands what we're saying. He's American, he's a rapper. However, he wants to rap alongside, our Afrobeat artists, just like Asake, rappers come on Asake's tracks and things. So we went to the right person, Rexy, and Uba. Uba, if you know Uba did the song between Wizkid and Chris Brown. And Uba lives in Lagos. He's a producer, just like the taxi name. Uba lives in Lagos too. Rexy is good. Everybody knows Rexy. The signal at the beginning of the song, yo, Rexy. He did a lot of work with the Malians. So Rexy signed an appointment with my son to come in at the Mawasi, studio Rexy. Minutes before we left home, Rexy called us and canceled. He said something came up that he'll reschedule. Rexy rescheduled us and he canceled again. After MOHBAD died, it was somebody in the industry, a big person. You all know this person, but me only Darukwe is a big person in the industry. Only, Auntie Kemi, you take Malian music. Is a friend to the Malians. MOHBAD malo block they don't activate to shit. That's what the person said. They don't activate investigation to shit. You don't like him. So he didn't like me. Only stop. Only came off. On software by my fancy any 500,000. News bachelor power. I know my reported. First of all, news is news. Okay, news is news, regardless. That's why I don't talk to Tiwa Savage anymore. She was not happy for the fact that I reported about her sex tape and I gave her advice. Other people reported in other ways. I gave her advice and she was not happy. And Towo Onajobi was the one that caused that. Towo Onajobi has a habit of converting friends to enemies. And that's exactly what's happening now with VDM. Converting friends to enemies in the industry is very, very common. And it's ruining the industry. So I don't talk to Tiwa anymore. News is news. You know, America was a train in Nigeria didn't report in Buruku to the politicians to go for him. Okay, if President Jonathan's son rapes somebody, Jonathan might pay journalist money not to report it. And that's what they call suppressed news and underreported news. And because of that, Nigeria is hard to practice. I cannot do that. I have a school on Twitter, 2222 Media School. I tell my students, if you want to be friends with celebrities, make sure you know you can't report about them. You cannot. So don't make friends with celebrities and public figures. Do your work. So at the end of the day, Naira never said thanks. So that person was like, ento block owoyi. She rántí gbà kan tọ́mọ yín kan wà ní music by tó fẹ́ wá bọ́ra Rexy in studio. MOHBAD ló pé Rexy pé kó má lọ, kó má bá yín ṣiṣẹ́. Ha! I was shocked. MOHBAD ló ní kí Rexy má bá yín ṣiṣẹ́. Mo bá pe Rexy ń gbọ́. MOHBAD ní pé kó má bá mi ṣiṣẹ́ because aunty yẹn ṣiṣẹ́ pẹ̀lú NDLA. I don't work with the NDLA. I just went to the NDLA after that case and I told the NDLA, and you got to enforce security. Chairman got to seize. Let me come and teach you about prescription drugs, narcotics, codeine, tramadol. And that's how I became a regular member of the NDLA spaces. And I did an 18-month campaign in Nigeria in schools, workplaces, and communities. You know what I mean? I don't work for the NDLA. People come to me. Please, can you put me? I can get anybody a job in the NDLA, but not any youth. Because so I stopped all that nonsense, you know. But at the end of the day, I don't work for them. I'm friends with the NDLA. I'm a stakeholder, all right, and I'm up there. I just don't make noise. You know, man. Everybody need wait on Shema make noise. They don't make noise about everything here. when it comes to his watches, his drinks, and everything, everybody has a way they make noise. James Brown has a way he makes them. Bobrisky has his own way. But in my own thing is like, I always remember the one thing at the end of my brain. I come from a very high-ranking political family and an elite family. If I need something or a phone number, I call my dad. I needed to talk to the Oni of Ife, Anytime Gunsi. I called my dad. Daddy, do you have Anytone's phone number? That is all I need to do. But people don't see that. I don't have to show people that. So Naira Marley has not talked to me. So when I heard all this, I'm like, why am I even investigating these boys? Okay, I'm just doing the investigation. I'm not part of Justice for MOHBAD. That's Yabo and Tonto's movement. I'm not the activism part. Journalists must never insert themselves into a story. I want to say it again to you guys. Journalists must never insert themselves into the story. When Megan was shot by Tory Lanez, okay, and I mentored Tory Lanez in Canada, everybody was like, there was this reporter who covered this case and the trial seamlessly. And the reporter's name is Megan. So American reporter. Okay, Megan never inserted herself into that story. She was just giving updates every day. And that's what we do as journalists. And that's what I did in MOHBAD's case. But when I saw something that was of concern to me, I told the CP and I finished my investigation. MOHBAD was coming from a concert. He got into an argument. 15 people live in his house. One of those 15 people said there was an argument in the car, and it was over a Canadian visa and a child paternity. The baby was with them in the car. I don't know why the baby went to the concert, but the baby was with them. And I've only impregnated you once. How come? Wait, are you telling me that I don't sleep with you every day? You are saying that I've only been impregnated. You've only had, relations with me once, and then I got pregnant. They started abusing each other. Somebody already has a hand injury from coming from the concert. This was one of the biggest concerts for MOHBAD. MOHBAD was revamping his brand. He launched a label immunization. I got all the CSC papers, I posted it. MOHBAD, no journalist in Nigeria did it. In Koton, grab. I make my own money on social media through traffic and monetization. Sometimes it's not enough. But you might be $75. Sin investigation, so we make only 2,000. I worked in Nigeria 11 years without a salary. Without a salary, I used my money to do a lot of investigation, and I really never recouped more because I believe in justice. And that's what I did with Toronto Police and 13 murders. So at the end of the day, what I put together in my investigation, I'll detail in a minute, was closed in November 2023. I came back this year because I wanted to re-update my investigation for the autopsy that came out. If you're doing an investigation and you close it, and you know the killer, if the autopsy comes out, you might want to update something. That's why I'm still updating it. And so what basically I found out was there was tempered glass in the car because MOHBAD was standing on the sunroof of the car. He wanted to stand on the sunroof like Davido did. Okay? Anything of Karima, MOHBAD's mother, everything I wanted to ask Josiah, I asked him. But anything of Karima and all that extracurricular nonsense should not be taken seriously. Everybody's using clout, and that's what everyone's doing. This protest you went to make in London, it was clout. You don't need it. You see what I told the ones in America? The ones in America, I advised them yesterday. They went to protest near the lab, and they were shouting, abusing the lab. You can't do anything because that's America. We have a law in America. You see that law? It's called the HIPAA law. Let me just pull my iPhone here, and I want to read you this stuff. This is very, very important, what I want to read you now. Now, during the time I was investigating MOHBAD's case, everybody must remember that the whole of Nigeria was saying that Naira Marley and Sam Larry has paid me. So they were telling me, there's one more relationship between Naira Marley and Sam Larry. It might make up stupid things. It might insult you. You want more Sam Larry? Naira Marley tí ó kí mi pé mo help wọn pẹ̀lú NDLEA ló ti sanwó fún mi listen carefully, learn things, think outside the box. You're in a country where everybody is corrupt. The write-up I wrote this morning was on Zlatan. IJ MOHBAD update. It's on my Twitter if you need it. Zlatan Ibile tricked MOHBAD into leaving Naira Marley's label. This is something that Portable just told you guys. All right? He tricked him into leaving the label. And Zlatan is one of those people that convert friends to enemies. He started the spiral that led to his bullying and demise. He converts industry friends to enemies. I can't believe he was there partying at Davido's wedding with MOHBAD laying inside ice at the mortuary. Be careful those you call friends. Naira Marley invested a lot in MOHBAD, but when he wanted out abruptly, he forgot his contract stipulations, bringing his mom and dad to beg the label boss, quote unquote. You don't bring your parents to beg the label boss, okay? You don't bring your parents to music negotiations unless one of them is your manager or publicist. I'm manager and publicist to my upcoming son, okay? That's when you see me at label owner's bedroom, standing there. MOHBAD was an illiterate of industry moves. I hope everybody understands. Illiterate is not an abusive word, though. Open your ears well. MOHBAD was an illiterate of industry moves, like calling and entertainment. Good ones. Dr. is there. Dr. Phillips, one of the best entertainment lawyers in Nigeria. He has American standards. MOHBAD was illiterate of calling an entertainment lawyer, not his mom or dad. Even Davido wanted out of his contract when he was an upcoming artist. Adeleke paid his contract out so that he can become an independent person. The top producer told me that Naira lost a lot of money on the separation. Okay, hold on, guys. Remember the guy I told you that said MOHBAD was the one that stopped my 500K and he was the one that called Rexy not to work with my son? It's the same person, that producer. Okay, like I said, I won't tell you the name, but that producer is the one I'm talking about. A top producer told me Naira spent a lot. Naira spent a lot of money on the separation, but ironically, the young man's death generated the money back 10 times in streams and downloads from Malian music. So this is the problem you have with Wumi and the baby and Josiah and anybody related to MOHBAD. None of them can touch that money because Naira Marley himself doesn't know the heir. It's usually the heir that's supposed to have the money. And when I mean the heir, H-E-I-R, or MOHBAD, father, mother, and everybody else. It's usually the child and the wife, and then the extended family. So until we know the heir, Naira Marley will not give anybody money. That person will need a probate lawyer, and that person will need a DNA test. And this is the number one reason why you need a DNA test for that child. May your death never be the source of his fortune, because MOHBAD's money now is with Naira. It's in two places. Some of it is with Sheyi, some with Naira, Immortalization music and Malian music. It should be your family's money. Zlatan Ibile has never called MOHBAD's father to condole with him, to say, MOHBAD sympathize. You heard what the father said on my interview. Shua has never called me. Zlatan has never called me. You said everybody, even Davido didn't call me, sent his PA to give me money. You know? It's a sad situation, guys. Now, finally on my write-up, like I said, you can go to my Twitter, XAkemiluna, it's there. Zlatan Ibile has never called MOHBAD's father to condole with him, yet he was at the last concert Imole performed at. His narcissism, I hope you know the meaning of narcissism and people who are narcissistic. Many Nigerians don't know. Many Nigerians do not know. They feel it's just some word they see on TikTok. A narcissist believes everything revolves around them. They really truly belong. It's a mental health. I won't call it a mental health illness or disorder, but it's a mental health phenomenon where, listen to this, his narcissism and quest to be recognized among the rich and famous is limitless. Zlatan even named his brand World President. You know what I mean? And you go argue, but if an American rapper comes out and says, Talo Fieshi World President, what happened with The Weeknd? Sure, you know The Weeknd, Canadian artist. Okay. I covered Abel very well, Tesfaye, Ethiopian. I covered him and Drake very well in Canada. Abel came after Wizkid and said, you can't call yourself Starboy. Did you know about that fight? When you call it Starboy now, only Starboy now, Abel Tesfaye alone Starboy, The Weeknd. But because Oruko is popular as much, okay, globally, Oshe season disease from Wizkid. So Wizkid only low brand, yeah, Starboy. Sure you get Starboy music, Starboy. Wizkid had to change his own. So this guy calls himself world president out of narcissism. Be careful among these industry types. Don't be surprised at what's going on now with VDM and the entire industry. It's been there from day one. Choose me, I choose you, or I friend you. Choose me, I choose you, or unfriend you. It's not a Facebook friends list. It's real life. Now that was my write-up. I may have ended my IJ MOHBAD investigation September to November 2023, but I recapped it after the autopsy was released, and I will continue to give you tidbits opinions. Now, on that note, choose me, I choose you. We're not talking about Facebook friendship list. Paulo Okoye is my very good friend. Very good friend. Paulo Okoye told me that when I leave Nigeria, this is what he told me in 2021. I'm not posting anything for anybody. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. Paulo said, when I leave Nigeria, I said, I'm leaving Nigeria very soon. This was 2021. You see that very soon I said, I had no idea that it would be 2023. But he said, Auntie Kemi, when you're leaving, let me know. Okay, I'm going to take care of you and your son. With regards to KJ, because I reached out to him and I said, I like One Africa. It's Afrobeat. I know that. But you got an Afro, a Nigerian, an American who lives in Nigeria, and he wants to open up. Okay, that's what you do when you're upcoming artist. You'll be looking for people to open the shows for. And when you're opening for, even if it's an Afrobeat concert, a rapper can open. Anybody can open, even a Fuji artist. So I was talking to Paulo about that because Paulo is one of the best promoters internationally. So Paulo and I are friends, okay? However, choose me, I choose you, enter the industry. As soon as Paulo started dating Yabo, I didn't talk to Paulo anymore. You understand what I'm saying now? I couldn't talk to Paulo anymore. And when I now heard, when Paulo told me exactly what happened with MOHBAD in Manchester, it pains me. And I used it. I kind of used it against him. Listen to what he said. He said, when I was in Manchester, this boy had gone through a lot of pain, beatings and all that, through the Malian thugs and the music and everything. All around when you're listening to MOHBAD, when you video, me got he posted, he called MOHBAD in late. Now, when you go to the blacklist, did the industry talk when he was beaten at the Malia house and he was tweeting about his blood pressure? Kept quiet. Only Kemi lawyer was tweeting him. When he died, he posted, look at Tiwa Savage funeral. I'm the only one that has the video. Me and Goa TV. I posted my own. When Tiwa was spraying him on the stage, what did you see in that spraying? Tiwa has not posted one day about RIP MOHBAD. Imagine, 9 months now. And at the end of the day, many people in the industry have not posted or even called his parents, his mother, his father. I'm assuming that if they didn't call his father, they didn't call his mother. Imagine. The industry does not care about you. So you should stay an independent artist and work hard as possible. And if you notice how Adekunle Gold shaded everybody. Adekunle Gold said, when I started, I was Adekunle Gold was the Photoshop guy in Nigeria. Everybody knew Adekunle Gold as the Photoshop guy. We know Photoshop albums and artists will cover. He shared the Photoshop. We know that Photoshop play in Nigeria. Okay. When I say unload dialect, Photoshop has always been in America, but when it came to starting this whole thing called Photoshop, it was Adekunle Gold, and he was using it in the music industry. So when you're around the music industry a lot, you become a musician. This is what happened to my son. As a music journalist, I took him to every single concert and every interview I did with stars, and he's now a rapper. So Adekunle Gold shaded everybody. Recently, last month, in a tweet saying that Nigerian independent artists, Tioba War in Nigeria, go to Ghana. I left Nigeria, went to Ghana. Adekunle Gold was basically saying that I used to do Photoshop for artists in Nigeria. Then I moved to Ghana and I became a musician. I started doing Afrobeat there. They recognized Nigerian music so well in Ghana. The Ghanaians play Nigerian music all the time. And then when I made this, I now shifted back to Nigeria. That's what he was telling people. Don't rush into recording contracts. 10 years. I'm hearing recording contracts of 10 years, 15 years. No recording more than 5 years. 3 to 5 years. There are many things people don't know. So I now did a 2-hour music journalism seminar on Facebook. Everybody knows that. I also did a 2-hour skit making class on TikTok, which was my first live TikTok. I haven't done anything since then. That's really a class. I did that free. It's not every day I have time. Some people learn, some didn't. So at the end of the day, with what we're saying about Zlatan and all that, I don't want another death in the industry. But going back to MOHBAD, what I told the father was that the father should go and bury his son. That's what I told the father. Some people didn't like it. They went on YouTube and did their video.
That's what you told MOHBAD's father?
Yeah, I told him, I said, at this point, there's not going to be any meaningful toxicology test. Now, let me explain that toxicology test to you briefly. Because that interview I did with Daddy Freeze, there was nothing there but people abusing me. Not everybody abused me, but the ones abusing me are usually that Wumi fan. I don't care about Team Wumi. I'm not here for Wumi. Okay, Wumi is a criminal and she should be arrested. At the end of the day, I've tweeted. I've said my own thing. You know, Owonha conveniently.
Sister Kemi,
no interruptions. Let me finish. Owonha, I'm an older person. I have a train of thought. Please, I have a train of thought. Okay, and it's called anxiety. I have PTSD. If you interrupt me, I will forget everything I'm about to say. Let me finish. There's a reason I'm saying this, okay? Please, just respect that. I suffer PTSD. The minute you say something, it will change my train of thought.
It's all right.
So, Owonha conveniently retired from the Nigerian police force. I said, is that the same thing that Udumosu did during Sylvester Romani case? I said Sylvester Romani was being hazed in the school and his father is responsible for his death by not taking him to the hospital with an enlarged liver. Everybody abused me. They released my phone number, my address. They trolled me everything and I fled Nigeria. They threatened me. 2 years later, my 2022 tweet, the judge said the father was responsible and the negligence was on him. Nigerians kept quiet. Everything. US government look at me that in Nigeria. You know? So at the end of the day, people came to my gates now. Someone on the said they should come and beat me up at my house. People are trolling me, send me messages. Please, if anyone trolls you or sends you messages or anything, because my numbers were released, keep everything. Always in Nigeria. I was hidden in 2 hotels before I was reached out. For me to leave my country and retire after 30 years, I will expose everybody. They don't know. Is it a book? Is it a documentary? It's coming. Just wait. That industry is very wicked. So it's the same thing Odumosu did. When he got hot, he quickly resigned from Lagos CP. But when I retire, I want pension. So Owonha did the same thing, retired. I followed Owonha until I reached him in Abuja. And guess what? He didn't retire from the Nigerian police force. He became the head of Interpol in Nigeria. Ogba appointments me, the head of Interpol in Nigeria for Nigerian police. So think about it, Bono abandon investigation. Go and see how Toronto police works. The people I volunteered for. They don't abandon the investigation. They shelve it and call it cold case. If a new tip comes out, they remove it out. That's how it's done. For MOHBAD's case, they've closed it. When you finish the investigation, you send it to the DPP, Director of Public Prosecutions. You now told Yabo, who was activating, that, sorry, the case is not with us anymore. In other words, that was their way of kicking Yabo out because Yabo began to really irritate them. So as they kicked Yabo out of the case and claimed that they are taking the case to the DPP, notice that police didn't talk about that case anymore in December, January, February. They said they are sending the autopsy. So you are all waiting for an autopsy that takes 6 weeks in any hospital. Excuse me, you are waiting for an autopsy that takes the toxicology test that takes 6 weeks in any hospital, any lab. Autopsy took 2 days. Autopsy was ready on the 21st of September, but you needed that toxicology test. This is a drug user that uses a lot of drugs and molly. This is somebody that drank bitters at his last concerts. So, that's why the first Daddy Freezer went on. When MOHBAD died, I said, they might find drugs in his system. I said, that's what killed him. But when they did their news conference, they had ceftriaxone as a drug that killed him. He went to convulsions and seizures. He reacted to it. Why was anybody dosing ceftriaxone inside the house? Why was it an auxiliary nurse and not a regular nurse? Why were they in the house? His wife stabbed him in the neck. And it was a laceration in his neck. After the fight in the car, and this was 3 eyewitnesses that told me this, and look at the auntie now. Auntie Tonluago, Tiabon Mock. Kini auntie yeso? Auntie Eni, Talo MOHBAD Lorun. That auntie was at the autopsy. I hope you all know that the whole family was in the autopsy except the father. They were there in the autopsy. They witnessed the autopsy. They sit down in a place that looks like a stadium, high up in different chairs, and they'll be looking into the autopsy. MOHBAD lying down on the hospital, whatever bed, and the surgeons around him cutting his body up. And there's glass. They can see the everything. And see here now. That's why I took back Autopsy shake me. Timo láti pé Churchill in London. Churchill's mother, Churchill Tonto's ex-husband. Churchill's mother lives in London and the grandmother. Yeah. Grandma just died last week.
Yeah, sorry.
I had to call Churchill in London. I said, Churchill, fast. They were praying in and fasting for Tonto's son because Mohbad's auntie was ringing a bell and laying curses on their children, Yabo and Tonto's children. Do you see how you can do something and you invite generational curses into your own family? This is why we all have to be careful what we do. This woman was cursing Tonto, and you know Tonto's son is Churchill's son, and Grandma Oladuni's grandchild and great grandma who died last week, Churchill's great grandma. And at the end of the day, we're all praying because of the bad things Tonto has invited into her house. And that's the same time I said, yeah, but you shouldn't be buying a cassette, you shouldn't be doing videos and everything. Where was I entering her children's name? I said, okay, sorry I did that. Then we talked in the DM. I told her to post my DM. She posted it. Then she turned around, started posting videos of my PTSD, mocking my mental health when I was out of prison. And her fans follow this nonsense. Mad woman, anytime follow Yabo and tap into negative blessings. Somebody told me yesterday, I said, I'm 60 years old in a month. I've achieved everything I want in life. I've gotten every appointment I wanted in America. I owe nobody nothing. I have no debts, nothing. And I want to just go and move to Dubai or somewhere and just enjoy my life, or Qatar, which I like. That's a free, soft life. And this girl came. Everybody had their comments. Congratulations, Mary. This girl came and said, I tap into your blessing. And I said, no, we don't say that. On this page, we don't say that. Never tap into anyone's blessings. I'm going to be a woman of God. I am a woman of God. But I'm going to launch the official thing. But yes, now in my evangelism, it's spiritual. My own is not religion. It's spiritual evangelism. I always tell people, don't tap into people's blessings. That woman, Mommy Z, that got all these gifts from every company in Nigeria, people are like, tap into your blessing. Don't tap into people's blessings because you might be tapping into the negative energy in their blessings. There might be something you don't want in their blessings that you tapped into. That's the same thing with Tonto. When that woman was cursing Tonto and Yabo's children, you see what's going on? They were actually cursing an innocent child who also has other relatives watching this whole thing. So at the end of the day, Tonto and Yabo phased out of the investigation because they were disgraced by everybody in every corner. And VDM started with Yabo. Yabo's mother died of schizophrenia, a terrible mental health illness that somebody starts shouting, yelling, hearing voices, and they can take those voices and kill somebody. America, to family to voices, schizophrenia. Mental home, Yabo told everybody her mother died in her sleep. She lied about many things, but she forgot she told me. I'm a journalist. I keep things confidential. I protect the source. But because Yabo told me this, and she now came out mocking my own PTSD, my own mental health, and also mocking VDM's mother. That was when I announced that your mother died of mental health. You have to be careful. You can't have your cake and eat it. You want to arrest it. But on plan to stay away from court so that one baby by lost in prison, one John 3 weeks. Yabo is a snake, and that's why that girl, this Android, was calling her Secretary. Secretary of your state is a town in your state. If you go to Secretary, there's snake everywhere. Snake everywhere.
Mommy, can we ask you a question?
Hello.
We're talking about
So at the end of it, let me round up. At the end of it, everybody can ask me questions after. At the end of the day, my investigation found out that the wife killed him. After the rage of argument, she stabbed him in the neck. We corroborate with what the 3 eyewitnesses saw and the lady at the autopsy, the aunt at the autopsy. But there is a CC camera that captured the whole thing. So what they did was they took his iPhone and it cannot be found. Mohbad had an iPhone and an Android, which everybody does have. And the Android is with the police because the police took the Android when they came to the house. But the iPhone has never been found. And I believe Mumi has the iPhone. They put post-no debit on all his accounts. So nobody can withdraw money. So the phone may have tried to go into his mobile app for the money. They can't touch the money. She put the no post debit in there. So nobody can withdraw anything. You know what I mean? So at the same time, the iPhone also has an iCloud. And what I did in Bamishe's case is what I want Nigerian police to do. Nigerian police did stage in sin way. I want girl Bamisoro. I want modelo Bamisoro. When I say I want modelo, I want to Bamishe and tell me, I have this latest for you. That's how I'm getting my information now. Because I want you Bamisoro. Most of them are the jobby. Muiwa Eloba Apple. American. If you need Toronto Police Constable Scott Mills, I will link you with him. Scott has retired now, but Scott will tell you how to do it. We used to call Facebook, Instagram, Apple, everything for criminal cases. What happened in front of MOHBAD house was recorded and captured on the CC camera, which is backed up on the iPhone. And the iPhone has an iCloud server. So the only person that we have the video clip of how MOHBAD was stabbed will be Apple. FBI used Apple's GPS to locate Hushpuppi and track him. They said it, the FBI said it themselves, and the Dubai police. Apple would give information to journalists and law enforcement. And if you're a journalist that you're doing investigative journalism, you have to prove it to any of the social platforms. And that's what I did with WhatsApp. I went to the Facebook legal department because I knew I'd work with them through Toronto police. So I got the new contact. They're now called Meta legal department. I have a kidnapping. I have a woman in a bus. She was leaving messages for her best friend, and she was the last passenger in the bus, and she was raped by the bus driver. And the bus driver killed her, and they found her body inside her. I need the WhatsApp. I need them. And it is encrypted. Am I encrypted? Encrypted words. The government have information you want to get. You want to request for audios. And she was dead. Voice notes here now. Posted. They have never found Bamishe's phone till today. Bamishe's case is going 2.5. Her case is going 2.5 years. We don't even have an autopsy. We don't have an autopsy for Bamishe yet. And someone who keeps promising Bamishe's family this and that. And let me tell you why we don't have the autopsy and the trial has stalled. Every time the Ayanwalis go to trial, let me tell you what happens. 6 a.m. in the morning, go one get breakfast, one badura together, one meet their parents. Bamishe was the 10th child. I want meeting the parents, one jam. One post and one lock quarters. By the time they get to the quarters at 8:30, guess what happens when the court comes? Case has been adjourned. Bamishe's case was adjourned 7 times because of one single person, a policewoman, who is a critical witness. So Bamishe's sister, Dami, call me, message me rather, only Auntie Kenny, Jide does not talk to me. Me. And that's because of Bugungoto Shelelaja. Simoni Jide Shenko Kofaja, cultists, they want to work, they don't want cultism anymore. Ever since O2 and Alif died, I know the names of the cultists. They're gang members, they call them gang members in America. There's one called O2, like oxygen, and then Alif, like the American pill. O2 and Alif were shot, point blank, daylight at Northwest filling station in Aja. Ever since O2 and Alif's dates, that's when I had to reach Sanwo-Olu. I had to go to Sanwo-Olu's DSS guy. The DSS guy that follows Sanwo-Olu around was trying to get me to see the governor. But also for you, mo beru ke mi lawyer. Kí ni mo lè ṣe? Mo sọ fún sister Bamishe money, Sanwo kì í bá mi sọ̀rọ̀. Only she will reach their way because the wife, Joke Sanwo-Olu is always shouting, we will get you justice. Joke shouted justice for Sylvester, justice for Bamishe, justice for MOHBAD. Police is very, very involved in some bad things. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Just look at Celine and Afiba now. Where are those ones? The dead body they found with no head. Where is the DNA test for that dead body? Whose body is it? Is it Celine? Is it Afiba? Is it gym instructor? Where is the police? Police is involved. They killed the investigation when they killed Andrew. And he came out facing and you had me for 11 years. I've left. Everybody can talk now. You can ask me questions. But as of now, what I'm saying is that I cannot determine what Mr. Joseph Aloba will do, but my own recommendation was that he should organize a private funeral for MOHBAD. Nobody must attend. Do it at a small place, okay? Get your own casket. Do it at a small place. Fans can tune in via Zoom, okay? Mr. Aloba has a PA who's very internet savvy, okay? And that boy can organize Zoom. Egbe camera sibe. E bury MOHBAD. E jẹ́ kí MOHBAD lọ sinmi. Kò sẹ́ni tó máa wá. Ẹ má fẹ́ anybody an opportunity láti wá. Okay? The industry kept quiet about him. Let him rest in peace. There's no meaningful toxicology test right now. Somebody told me that Wumi's sister did an interview with Daddy Free saying that they used to send drugs. One man sent drugs wale from MOHBAD. That one of Wumi's sister is a nurse and that they send drugs home to MOHBAD. Diphenhydramine, Nigerians were arguing with me that it's marketed. I'm telling you that something is not marketed in a single entity form. There are no diphenhydramine tablets or injection in Nigeria. If you see diphenhydramine in Nigeria, it's inside some small cough syrup for a child or something. I'm talking about a single entity. NMS Lab was showing diphenhydramine injection inside MOHBAD. They were showing acetaminophen, paracetamol inside MOHBAD. You cannot find those drugs inside somebody that's been underneath the ground for 1 week. They have very short metabolites and very short half-lives. That's chemistry, and that's pharmacology, pharmacognosy, pharmaceutics, pharmacotherapeutics, and pharmacokinetics. I studied that for 6 years, and I got a clinical degree. You cannot argue with me. That's why I fought that the freeze pay me now. I'm faking part of a sorry show, and when you're faking what? Because people attacked him. When you're part of a sorry show, freeze. Motishe video temi, motishe temi ton. That is all I can say. Anyone can ask me a question now. Oh, thank you for my voice, giving me a voice.
Thank you so much, Mama. I appreciate you.
Are people clapping? Did I hear people clapping?
I'm actually clapping for you on TikTok.
Thank you. I've done it. Won't protect someone. Won't protect Wumi. Wumi demo. See Wumi ba she DNA for my. Oh yeah, the bit more forget. Yabo mulo she DNA lemeji. It came out negative. Stella, why expose Yabo? You know Stella now. People call Stella a blogger. Stella Demococcus. Stella is not just a blogger. Stella graduated journalism school the same year that I graduated. But because Stella worked for Encomium, only gist reporter Encomium, people saw her as a blogger when she now left Encomium to marry Oyinboye. Or marry German guy, can we move to Germany? So Bello to be Stella Democo blog. But Stella is an entertainment journalist. So Stella will care whose ox is God. Look at my core story in Pioneer. Those girls have been in the media for so long. So but Stella announced pay Yabo secretly took Wumi to go and do test. The Lagos test came out negative that MOHBAD did not father Liam. Okay, and the reason why MOHBAD took that child to the river to try and drown that child is when he found out he didn't father Liam. And let me tell you about the DNA in Dubai. And the second DNA that they did, Tonto did that for her in Abuja. The sample was taken to Abuja and it came out negative as well. So who fathered this child? One that came on the results. Only Yabo for any result DNA test secretly lordship by Wumi. The DNA of the Dubai one, that one came from somebody in the Malian house. One Wumi babu go in the Malian house. If going back to go back to suspect Bubu Kini, Loni Peoya, a consent sample DNA. Any con Timmy of Fedaro can Dubai, big boy, Lenny, very big boy. You know, I wish journalism is a rough profession. I wish I can mention names. That's the only thing that kills me. This person is a big person in Dubai. The person is not a Nigerian. The person is from the UAE itself, but Nigerians know who it is. He's the one that wanted to party Jabugbe. Shinarabali Kolole de Dubai, Ogbe sample of Dubai. In utero, you know you can take DNA of a baby that's inside the womb. In utero DNA. One test. What is of me? One is Sam Larry Lulomo. Immediate post when it's Sam Larry, you want the result DNA. You already DNA test. Once of me, you could test confirm Sam Larry Luni or no father. But to pass on Malian house. But I choose money Sam Larry is the father. Moshe Collage, Moshe Bugbe. What the Nigerians say? Nigerians wanted to see the DNA test. You can't see everything. We have to protect sources. But what did Sam Larry say? Did you guys remember? Host, do you remember what Sam Larry wrote on his live? He said, Auntie Kemi, that shall not be my child, too. I have my wife and my own children at home. Okay.
Okay.
That's what he didn't mention my name. He just said, mommy. Do you understand what I mean? Host, do you understand? When somebody says, mommy, that child is not my child. I have my own children and wife at home. Salary denied that. So do fresh DNA test. Just like I said to Davido. Call us a brand new DNA test. Have you seen Davido's daughter? I know the first one. The one that I talk about. Have you seen that little girl?
Which one is that?
The first one that Davido did not accept.
Okay.
You see how that girl looks like all their delicacies, especially Demola and B-Red and all of them, and Davido's sister Sharon. And the write-up I did for Davido recently basically was because I felt that look at how Anu and Imade looks alike. What's in Dagba and Anu, they've been bullying Anu in school now. Now they're bullying her and say, so Davido is your father and you know what I mean? So one, the reason why they have to do a fresh new DNA is because what Davido told the son of a king in Ibadan, and I was inside the room. The king's son called Davido and put it on speakerphone and told me to shut up and not say a word. I don't know why I don't hit record when I'm in this kind of situation. I guess it's God that does that. And he said, Davido, Kilode to logbomo to lo DNA. Davido knew, brother, I don't want to accidentally go and say the name of the prince, you know, it's an Olubadan son, but brother, sorry, Bugwalajo Basun now. Bugwalajo Basun. And Auntie Ken is just talking rubbish and making you look at the father. Okay, so Bugboyin leba ayosu. That means Bugboyin lati she DNA test. Okay, considering that Anu actually looks like B-Red, Davido and B-Red need to have a DNA test. Dakwa Abiodun's son, Governor Dakwa Abiodun's son, the DJ at the time, DJ Olu, Ontiku Ali, she DNA Ben. Actually, they said DNA, but at the end of the day, the other person, the manager of the video, he had to move on. But at the end of the day, I only knew back in your person. Hook up ni. I only slept with Davido. So I said, go and do fresh DNA test. That's why I advised Davido inside my own write-up. And I'm advising Wumi, okay, if they say you have done one in Lagos, one in Abuja, okay, do one in America, like you said. Also, for Yabona, what you have a poster now, we fed DNA in America. Every DNA in Los America can ask be or Kiri. Oh, my come back for father or mine. At this point, I don't even know who fathered the child, but it's not Mohbad's child, and there's money at stake. What am I to accumulate Malian music and modernization? So the money stays there. If Naira Marley dies today, I'm not wishing him death. I'm just explaining to you how things work. If Naira passes away today, Naira has two very aggressive daughters. You've seen them, twins. You've seen one of them like, my daddy has more money than your dad, but the British accent. I can see those children in 20 years' time. Facing Liam and saying, what? What do you say you want? You want what? You want your daddy's what? Can you imagine? Because I want to take over Malian music, Google assets, everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't put yourself through all this stuff. So that's really all I have to say, host. And I'll stand by. I'm preparing some things for the NDLEA for a show today, 3 to 5 Nigerian time. And I will stand by here in case anyone has questions for me. So please stop fighting over one protest and everything. Oh yeah, protesters in London. Let me give you an advice. The same advice I gave the American protesters. All right. The American protesters were standing in front of the lab. There is a law in America called HIPAA. HIPPA. Okay, education is power. What should I explain for Baba Mohbad here? Because Baba Mohbad is illiterate of many things. Yes, he speaks English. Yes, he understands it, but some things you don't understand. See, Nigeria is smart but not intelligent. Anyone doing illiterate. Don't try to tell you how the world works. You must teach Nigerians how the world works versus how you think it works. HIPAA stands for Health Insurance Portability Privacy Act. Let me break that down to you. In America in 1996, during the Clinton administration, you cannot come to Kemi Lawyer in the pharmacy and say, hello, Dr. Kemi, my daughter is having sex and I want to make sure she doesn't get pregnant and she has not told me blah, blah, blah. Have you done the birds and the bees with her? That's what I would ask the mother. The birds and the bees is when you teach your child about sex, when they start their periods. The schools were doing it, but parents got mad and said it's not their business. So some schools stopped. So your job to tell your child what a menstrual period is and that they could get pregnant. So you now ask that person, say, have you done the birds and the bees with her? And if the parents said, no, I haven't, please, can I find out what she's getting out of this pharmacy? In the old days, I would go into the computer and say, your child is on birth control, wahala. Wahala. My child is using birth control pills. That means your child is having sex. Today, because of HIPAA, you cannot do that. Because HIPAA was enacted in Congress because of a case like that, where somebody wants to give medical information to a family member and it caused wahala. Today in America, you cannot give medical information out. This is why when Punch newspapers went to NMS labs, the lab that Lagos State gave the Commissioner for Education was NMS lab. NMS said, we don't have anybody by that name. So in a way, it's right and wrong because they can't tell you it's MOHBAD's toxicology test. But NMS is saying they don't have anything from Nigeria. That is the red flag. We don't have anybody by that name. It's HIPAA. HIPAA, we cannot give you, a lab test of any particular person. All right. If you notice, the HIPAA lab test itself didn't say MOHBAD's name on the top because of the privacy law. But I really believe that as Nigerians, we can forge anything. NMS lab in America, guys, look at the toxicology test. Does it say America? Does it say the phone number of the place? Yes, it does. Because there can be NMS lab anywhere in the world. Somebody said I should let everybody else talk. You can't even say thank you for all the information I gave you. Obi Queen, Toss Queen. What were they talking about? They were fighting about
Mom, please don't mind them.
Fighting about protesting, and somebody was saying they were on their way to a protest. Another person, they the one coming there lying. If you want to continue the protest, I'm not stopping you, but I'm giving you advice now what you have to do. This is what I told the American side. Don't stand in front of NMS shouting and everything. Okay, if they call the police on you, the police will come and they will tell NMS they're allowed to protest. You can protest on anywhere in American soil. It's in the Constitution, it's our right. But why waste your time when you can be making money or do something worthwhile? This is what you do. I told the protester at the NMS, go home. Go and call the media. Pennsylvania and the NMS, Eloque Action News, Channel 6, places to go and call Channel 6, Channel 2, and Channel 3. Tell them the story of MOHBAD. Talk to the reporters and tell them you want them to cover a protest. They will come. They will come and then when you are going there to the media, tell them that the one thing with media in America will ask you, how does it affect, like you say in Nigeria, how does it affect the price of Gari? The American media will ask you, how does it affect our readers and our viewers? You will now say, we have a lot of Nigerians in Pennsylvania. Nigerians are everywhere. We have a lot of Nigerians in Pennsylvania following this, and it's a subject of the music industry. So what Channel 6 Action News, like I worked there, Channel 6 News, Pennsylvania, what Channel 6 will do, or even the one in Harrisburg, Pittsburgh and Harrisburg have their own two TV stations. Contact them. What they will now do is they will now use it to attract the Nigerian community into their websites. Are you social media now? All these TV stations in Pennsylvania will now have more followers on their Facebook, their Twitter, and Instagram just because of MOHBAD. But you have gotten what you came for. You have gotten it on the television. You go to the media, print and television and radio, but target the TV people so you can see you protesters and the newspaper people. Then if you need newspapers, I will give you. So anytime I need London, they are doing a good job. Now, don't fight. Okay, don't go to Nigeria House now. I know you've been. Plan another protest for Nigerian House. Because Nigerian government at our big people who are behind the MOHBAD, our colonel are directly behind the IKU, but they are directly behind the protecting the suspects. As I sit here in my house now, 2 people know who killed MOHBAD. The wife and Prime Boy. You see how Prime Boy is trolling that girl? If you fuck up and expose you now, you and your boyfriend, focus on the bigger picture, people. Think outside the box. Prime Boy called MOHBAD boyfriend. Are they legally married? Can they actually claim any of his assets? Muni's mother is a police officer that's retired. somebody inside the Aja DPO office. I'm a regular in the DPO's office in Aja. I was a community leader in Aja. Tell me mobile IGP, so your DPO at every officer who Aja, but on Pine Miji. One of my fans, a lawyer. Okay, Vandy Lopaya. Another officer killed a young man. 2 deaths in December of 2022. Look at Bolanle's death. When I say Vandy will shoot Bolanle pregnant with twins. Vandy came to my house when one of my neighbors took everybody's face out. Alaja, chairman estate, Alaja near Emma Polok, my trial license. Alaja in time. Okay, Sisi and Polok are from London 20 years. I want to go to America. Olok Palama face to go because we don't have lights. She was not paying electricity, she was stealing lights. She was attached to a bypass. So when the police came, they were aggressive. They came in a Korope, a little bus like that. The most aggressive man took my son's phone from him because my son was outside. All the tenants had to come outside. And my son was going to the hotel. And he grabbed my son's phone. And my son, please give me my phone back. He said, no, I'm not giving you, but you're recording. You can't be recording. So when I came out, I said, excuse me, officer, please just give my son. He's an American visiting. Nigerian police. He's an American visiting. I don't want to call the embassy now because it would be very bad for you if I have to call the embassy. And his 4 police officers said, give the boy the phone back. And truthfully, KJ said he wasn't even recording, that he was just doing his TikTok. So at the end of the day, I met Vandy. He was aggressive. And when they told me it was Vandy that shot that girl, that lawyer, look at how she got justice. Justice is just something you just be shouting in protest. Bolanle Rahim was a member of the Nigerian Bar Association. The Nigerian Bar Association sped up the case. Before 1 year of our anniversary, they had convicted Vandy in court and sentenced him to death. A police officer with 4 children at Adamawa State. So I had to tell the lady, Vandy now, oh, aggressive.
You guys, can you hear me? I think her network is bad.
Maybe they're flagging her.
Okay, you can hear me. Okay.
I think Justice from MOHBAD said he wanted to talk first before Mr. Aggressive climbed up. So
you can allow Mr. Aggressive to talk. I will wait a bit. Let Mr. Aggressive talk.
Well, I would have wished Dr. Kevin is up here. Okay. At least we've heard enough. Hello, ma. We've heard enough, and you have given us.
Yeah, I'm even tired. I have to get ready for NDA. Can you hear me?
Just give us some minutes. Listen to our own side.
Can you hear me, though?
Yeah, a direction or.
I will listen to you, but look, 1 second. Let me just say this for 1 second to the London protesters.
Yeah,
let me plan how you're going
It's always 1 hour.
Wait. What I said is not ordinary. Auntie Kemile Soroju, but around 1 minute, that's the term out there. And protest here, can reorganize it. Nigerian House in Nigerian Embassy, is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay, this is what you're going to do. Leave that embassy. Don't fight amongst each other, okay? You're going to, there might be more pressure on you, and it can be big as that NSAS one that I saw Whiskey at. You will go to the Metropolitan Police. You will get your permits if you need it. Second thing, go to the Daily Mail, all right? The Daily Mail is very independent media, okay? It's not by businessmen and politicians. Go to the Daily Mail, go to the Telegraph, okay? Go to BBC, all right? ITN, BBC, those 2. If you have Sky News there, I don't know how good Sky is with covering things like that, but go to BBC, all right? If you can go to BBC and BBC Extra, Radio 1 Extra, you know, the music channels, you know, the music radio ones, go to those ones. Somebody should do a press release, okay? Press release is not hard, okay? I'm a publicist. You just put press release on the paper, the date, the time, and you say, please, we want you to cover a case, and just round up the story of MOHBAD and everything. And in your press release, type in IJ MOHBAD. They can go to IJ MOHBAD, hashtag IJ MOHBAD on Twitter. A Nigerian journalist, did any journalist investigate it? No, them are sober, except Ken Yolu lawyer. Type IJ MOHBAD so that the media can look at what I have been doing and get a synopsis of what you guys are talking about. This is a serious case. This is one of the most serious cases in Nigeria now. So, make sure those newspapers, okay, I want to make going here, BBC and ITN. And BBC Africa is not based in the UK. They are mostly all right. They've done their own. What they will do is they will go and interview Mohbad's mother, father, they're not going to investigate because that's the indigenous BBC. It's still BBC. So plan your own in London. Can what be your be surprised? So I was just passing by this TikTok. I didn't know anything about a London protest. Can what be your be surprised? London, Nigerians are in London. Can what be surprised? Can what invite Nigerians? Can everybody show up? Arrange one day, combat Nigerian embassy. Show to that kind of stuff. That's what you need to do. Because if we want be toxicology, we have toxicology labs inside NDLEA rehab centers in Nigeria, inside UCH, Root, every hospital. We are teaching toxicology to students in medical schools. Why did we take mobile zone abroad? Our heavy politicians know what behind. Want them protect them. Thank you, everybody. Mama, go in law.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
We appreciate your contribution and your directives. My first thing is like, well, I want to charge you and challenge you that
please,
you can't leave this fight. You are a professional fighter and an experienced human rights or social justice fighter. So saying you are done or you've ramped up, you've done this. No, I want to beg of you. You are going to get more involved than even ever before, because this is the first struggle for justice that has taken someone's life, that have seen the much interest of people both home and abroad. I've never seen Abiola died, different fella died, different people died mysteriously, unexpectedly, but there has never been a death that has been dragged like this. So with your own experience and knowledge in struggle, political struggle and social justice fights, you are going to please be involved, but not on social media. Probably you create a forum or a platform where, because at times, if you go through the comments or you see people's comments and their contribution, you see some are negative. We don't want a situation whereby they will even tap from the vast experience and vast knowledge and wisdom that you have shared with us. Create a forum or a platform that there will be a synergy between you, your team, and those who are on the field fighting for justice. Because we don't expect you to come and carry placard. We don't expect you to come and be saying this, and this. But your directive and many others could do us a favor. And I don't know if you can be disposed to the idea of linking you up to Baba Mohbad's lawyer. Because so many...
I've already spoken to all. Okay. It might disappoint everybody here, but I have to tell you this. It's just the way somebody said that, why are you leaving Justice for Mohbad? You got to remember one thing. I was never part of Justice for Mohbad because of being a journalist. I was IJ MOHBAD. The reason is because journalists do not insert themselves into activism causes. And you have to understand what's the business, because journalists, okay, if you remember the lady from Turkey, she and her mother were shot dead. She was a journalist and she got very involved in that Turkey revolution thing. Now, Sean King, some of you might know Sean King, American half-caste boy. Yes. Sean King was at the Sean King was at the New York Times. He was a journalist there. Yeah. Sean started getting involved in the shooting of black youth by police. Small by small, be Sean to fight for she'll get at the point of somewhere Sean became an activist. Before you know it, today Sean is a full blast activist for Palestine, and he left the New York Times. So we're not saying journalists cannot be activists. We are the best activists, okay? Showore is a politician, he's a journalist, and he's also an activist. But you also have to understand that activism has different causes. My own activism is mainly drug abuse in America and gun violence in America and Canada. So a gun violence activist, I'm known in those two countries for that. Drug abuse, I'm known in America for that. America and Nigeria now, actually, for those two. So I've never been a human rights activist because human rights is very complicated. Sometimes enter and Jeff who like what. Sometimes enter and Jeff who care. You know what I mean? So I'm very bad at human rights activism. That's why I left the movement after 2 weeks. People announced join Justice for MOHBAD. I left after 2 weeks because Buki, Jesse, and a few other people on Facebook started to demean me. I don't need that. I'm a brand. Kemi Olunloyo is a brand. I don't need that. I started opinion journalism in Nigeria. Before I came to Nigeria, nobody had opinions. I mean, opinion journalism in Nigeria, 2007. Today, you have very black man, opinion, BCEO, opinion, Saida Boy, opinion. Easy to follow me in 2009 in Canada. Easy Ogwede will not issue opinion. Everybody's doing opinion. Daniel Riga. I started opinion in Nigeria, and the reason why I started is because I wanted the voices to come behind me, and now we have more voices in Nigeria. But everybody's quiet. 2 weeks inside this thing, Buki Jesse was saying on her live, can you come and believe in because he can be a lawyer? So she says she didn't say that. She apologized to me. I took her apology. But me, Ferra Darada, Moti retire. One of my legs is almost not functional. I fell from the roof. So I discussed my injuries and everything. I felt cleaning and ceiling fan. So I'm dealing with health issues. I will be 60. I don't have anything planned, no party, nothing. And I don't even know where I will be. And my child was in a very ghastly car accident. I just announced it today. The accident was back in April, but I just announced it today. Both airbags were deployed. Both cars were total. A girl was using phone and she was driving. So but I will not cease from this investigation. I just don't want to join the activism group. I will not cease from this investigation because it is my investigation. I do a MOHBAD. Only we should update the Zlatan part. But I want to sponsor me. No, sponsor Zlatan. But we want to go left, right, and center. And when you tell you come back to see music industry people, low Latima song MOHBAD, Latima song RIP MOHBAD. You don't stop Tiwa Savage, Don Jazzy, and other figures in writing RIP MOHBAD. Of course, I'm a part of RIP MOHBAD, but I'm not one day. So I'm glad you said that because there's a part of this investigation I cannot seem to solve, and it revolves about Sam Larry and Oba Kati. When it comes to immediately so, what is a message to Oba Kati? I've sent somebody a message to send to him that when Sam Larry mentioned his name at the attack, at the video shoot, what was it that he was saying about that Oba that made that Oba release a statement disowning him that is not related to Oba? But there's something in MOHBAD's police report that says that Oba is somehow linked. Surely, you can like hearsay. Journalism is not about hearsay. Justice for MOHBAD, for example, say there was a situation in Kotoshele in court Lano. There are 2 guys in jail now that they are trying in courts because the Oba said they defamed him. Sure, you're following that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Justice for MOHBAD, sure you're following that case?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You saw what the Oba said on the newspaper yesterday. Google papers look way. Oba said, I want MOHBAD's death to be solved. I'm charging the police to solve MOHBAD's death. People are making fun of him and everything.
Yeah, we appreciate it. But
yeah,
on those 2 individuals, let me ask you a question. What do you think we can do if you have been following the line of accusation and detention?
Okay, I didn't follow the whole thing with the those two that were incarcerated. I didn't follow that part from the beginning because I was just too busy trying to detect things. But when I now see Kino She on the father she been got one charge on funny, okay. I want you
they were being charged for verbal talk or transit according to the charge against them.
Iboni verbal talk yet to share electronic media, and was it a video?
I think it's on TikTok here.
So that's electronic media. So that's slander and libel. Defamation is really written, and people are not getting it right. This is the mistake police made with me and Biomi kids. Defamation is written, okay? Slander is spoken. and libel is all combined. So if you were on a video, they slandered him, but they prosecuted these guys for defamation. Shang would more how things work, defamation and libel and everything. So whatever they said.
Cyberbullying.
What do we do, or how can
Cyberbullying.
we get them out? Because they've been granted bail and yet to be released.
I don't know why you want to get them out. Let the police do their job.
Police
Let
are
the
doing their
police do
job. They've been
You know why I
granted
want
bail.
They've been granted bail.
Yeah.
Call up bail around our house, but everybody is innocent until you are proven guilty. And to my favor, me argue we are still America. America let me see everything to me. Me if I go Nigerian stuff. You are innocent until proven guilty. So everybody must prove themselves innocent. You can't just say, oh, somebody fathered somebody. Let me say something to you. Justice for MOHBAD, let me say something to you. For example, Timba fe je dodo sin, Timba ni mo fe je dodo. Kí ló máa lọ rà lọ́jà? Ṣé plantain kọ́ ló máa lọ rà?
Wọ́n lè lọ rà pé kéré.
Plantain ló máa lọ rà, na Timba ni mo fe je dodo. If I want to eat dodo, you go and buy plantain. Now, you don't have plantain. You can't get to the market, but you have bananas. And you now take bananas and fry it for me. It won't come out the same now. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes we do some things, okay, to satisfy people, but we actually want to do it another way, and we might not get our way. That's what I'm trying to illustrate here. If I had my way, I would have Elegushi do a DNA test to prove those guys wrong. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I don't have my way. I can't force him to have a DNA test. I can't force him. You know, when you come with money and power and you want to down somebody, prove that somebody wrong. And this is the mistake Ibiyomi did when the federal judge dismissed the case. The magistrate judge had no choice but to dismiss it too. They said, Kemi Olu lawyer said Ibiyomi was having an affair with Yabojo. When I didn't say anything, when I didn't write anything, something was sent to me. They said, I sent it to myself with a fake account. So, Mochi fake account, one send the Sarami. But Instagram, Facebook Facebook legal department at that time, not Meta yet, they said it's in our server. A Nigerian number sent it to her. I want you making a sort of caller ID company. The caller ID company was Truecaller. Truecaller that took the number and brought it up. It was Yabojo's number. So Yabo was the one sending all this stuff. It wasn't Yabo. At the end of the day, the investigation showed that, not Nigerian police, so it was me that was investigating my own case, and Facebook showed that it was Yabo's PA. The PA that stole money and ran away was the one holding that phone. You see what I'm saying? So you want to do things in a way that your money and your power will not buy it. Prove people wrong. And that was the mistake Ibiyomi made. So after Ibiyomi invited me to his office, I went there with Graham Douglas. He prayed for me and he said I should forgive him behind closed doors, and I forgave him. But we're calling your rinta now. Get up the sheet or she DNA test. But long time, see about prove one wrong. She pay your color, she pay your color, pay e-money. E-money, lopa Junior Pope, pay Kobali by Yawulowe. She wants to arrest her when you want to go on court. Everything has been settled. I want you to apologize. Amy, I for know that Junior Pope was killed. E-money has nothing to do with anything. I for what defame E-money straight up. I for know that Junior Pope's wife was killed. In your memory, no there one day. Yeah, where now I want to say. So with MOHBAD.
Hello.
With MOHBAD. Sorry.
I want us to limit the discussion on MOHBAD.
Examples because I'm a journalist now. He's activist for human rights. I'm just telling you the way we look at things in journalism.
You're talking like one.
The way we look at things in journalism, active and discuss things so that Nigerians can understand things, how things work. Sure, but okay, 50 years ago, share a minimum investigate the case by lobby Toronto police and the Baltimore police. Baltimore police said detectives. It is our job as detectives because we detect something. We're not only detectives, homicide detectives. Baltimore police of Milan, do you not have homicide detectives there? I said we do, but we don't have a good forensic system. But I got to tie around the MOHBAD. And you call a bapu, call a bapu, CC camera, no. Let me say something to you. A Nigerian police officer in Canada messaged me. You know what he said? Let me just say this real quick. A Nigerian police officer who is in Canada with the Toronto police. He messaged me and just said one thing. Hi, Kemi. Once they get the CC camera from Apple, the case is solved. Finish. Got us on here. Yeah, what first solved. I'm listening to you.
I was saying,
Mr. Garrison, you want to go ahead, please?
yeah, as I was saying, ma, I would advise a lot of things don't let out in public. Let there be a way to contact the lawyers and an interested person, or probably we can reach out to you if we're in the race and something is shady with your own investigation and the way you have gone in depth. Because I can say that you have gone further than anyone trying to unravel the mystery behind MOHBAD's death.
Let me give you the way you're going to. Let me give you the way. Nobody else is trying to unravel it in the media. It's only me. Let me give you the way you're going to contact me. Okay, should I have a heart attack right now and I'm not here anymore? You have IJ MOHBAD. Hashtag IJ MOHBAD is on Twitter. TikTok is on Instagram. I won't limit. But if you go to YouTube, if you go to Facebook, and if you go to X, IJ MOHBAD is there for life. Every of my investigations are there. Instagram, she changed many times. My Instagram page is not for anything. It's just for my archive of my work. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
IG MOHBAD.
No, IJ. Hashtag IJ MOHBAD. Best place is to go to X, Twitter. Toba type hashtag IJ, investigative journalism, MOHBAD.
Okay.
Go to investigate one day. Let me say something to you. Let me say something to you, Oga. Sherry, what I'm saying to you now. Call my carry lap. Okay, mo kawe, 3 degrees in money first class. But you know me to kawe in ogmoju mi lo. But I can tell you that think of cover shaming sin. She may see around me. She want to make arrest in the death of MOHBAD. IJ MOHBAD. It's admissible to court. You know that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So everybody should go and look at it. $2,000. When I say I want dedicated fans because I don't have a lot of people that like me. $2,000 now fans need to donate. And I've been doing that. I've always crowdfunded all my investigations because I don't have money. Nobody hired me in Nigeria. One only hired me because NBC, my short one. Channels almost hired me. NBC will shut us down. No, don't bring Kemi. She will go and say something about Buhari now. They will shut us down. She run up. There's no freedom. That's why I became independent. You know what I'm saying? So I worked with my money and I recoup what I can recoup from monetization. People ask me that question. How come you're not with Tilly's and all of them? So Tebani confidence. There was only one person, I won't mention the media house, that wanted to hire me, but there was a stipulation. Billionaire Lunibe. There was a stipulation. Kemi can't go on any live shows. You share with me. Show me. Kemi can't go on any live show. When you Jackie Kemi, you know your host money show. I go to go live.
Excuse me, can I ask a question? Can I just ask a question?
Okay, go ahead.
My question is, why do you want Baba to go and bury MOHBAD now?
The reason is because I heard that Baba was to do an autopsy, an independent autopsy, and a toxicology test. In my write-up, I actually said they should do an autopsy, but there is not going to be a meaningful toxicology test at this stage. Okay, MOHBAD's body was covered with formalin. Formalin is embalming fluid. What happened was when the police claimed that they are finished and they sent the case to the DPP, they told the public that and Yabo Ojo, the leader of the activism group. That's what they said. Now, if you've closed the case and you've taken it to the DPP is not supposed to choose who they're going to prosecute, the nurse, the prime boy, whoever. So you now come back and you invite Darusha. Killer, invite Darusha because you heard that Darusha embalmed MOHBAD. Darusha now went, sack mama, hide up and down. So Mrs. Odumosu, another lawyer, no relation to the police chief before, but this lawyer Odumosu now got Darusha and represented Darusha just a month ago. 8 months later, doesn't that mean it's an open investigation again? That means you did not finish your investigation. You wanted to know who embalmed it. And also from media, illegal mortician. Darusha told who embalmed body on the staircase. Baba MOHBAD is a familiar interview. I think they're going to use all these things in court. Baba MOHBAD is a familiar interview. As every other interview to Baba MOHBAD, she. Ikwe one embalmed MOHBAD on the staircase. Bon she ban him. Darusha now changed the story and saying, I never embalmed Mohbad. Somebody hacked my Instagram and typed that on my Instagram. Hack Instagram that easy. Somebody typed it, something 8 months ago. I blame the Nigerian police for that because they didn't do the investigation thoroughly. They closed it on the orders of somebody big. So at the end of the day, Mohbad's body, okay, if you notice the autopsy from America, no, the autopsy from Lagos, America, don't let's confuse it. Autopsy from Lagos, toxicology from America. Go and look at that autopsy. Did you notice something in that autopsy about the embalming of Mohbad? Did that autopsy not say Mohbad was not embalmed? It said in there, on embalmed body. So everybody in Paris, left, right, and center. So Timo by embalm Mohbad, don't actually bury Mohbad without embalming. Because see meaningful toxicology test to come out. Kida di Mohbad lo ṣe another autopsy. Listen up, this is chemical, this is medical stuff. Kida di Mohbad lo ṣe another autopsy. Carry nǹkan tó ń là lọ́rùn ẹ̀. Nǹkan tí mo ṣe need external autopsy yẹn. Gbogbo organs àti gbogbo cuts and everything. But toxicology only were meaningful at this point. But not the parọ́, along with drugs to the go to the body within 24 hours. Paracetamol àti diphenhydramine lè bá nínú ara rẹ̀. You know, so toxicology says, leave that one aside. Okay, because Mohbad is not, the reason why they gave you a toxicology test because this was a drug user and they wanted to make it look like he was using something that killed him. And this was somebody that was rigged with drugs, cocktail of drugs by a nurse, an illegal nurse. Because what you toxicology left for him. And all these big words, they know the public doesn't know it. And they don't know we are here as medical professionals that will break it down for the public. Journalism is about 10th grade language. 10th grade in JSS1, America. Or JSS1, Latin. So at the end of the day, people have second autopsy. Okay, toxicology says, man, we're meaningless. Well, they show, but nothing is going to come out of this because that's what they're trying to do. They were either trying to pin Mohbad as a drug user that died of drugs or the nurse as a stupid woman that did not have a license to be practicing alone and gave him self-triaxone and
Dr. Kemi, respectfully.
So I'm not for just burying him. Go ahead. Let me hear you.
Dr. Kemi, you said somebody you mentioned about formalin. Who used the formalin?
Yeah, formalin is the ingredient, active ingredient in embalming fluid. Continue.
Can you repeat that?
They're using it to preserve fish now in Nigeria.
Say that again, please.
I'm hearing you, Masorolo.
Well.
Hello?
Hello, Bossman.
You were talking about formalin.
Yeah. What he's trying to let us know is that it's a chemical formation that is used to preserve the body.
So who used it on the body? Who used it on the body?
The attendant, as in the attendant, the mortuary preservers.
You mean where he is now?
Dr. Kemi.
Yeah.
For the name of the Darusha that claimed that his account was hacked. Do you know that we can actually do a proper internet forensic on his phone? He said in December, he narrated how he embalmed the body, right?
Exactly.
And then he came out after the police called him to investigate, and he said that he never embalmed the body of Mohbad.
8 months later, yeah.
He claimed that your phone, your account was hacked. There was no time that you ever came out to say that to debunk that your phone was hacked. You never announced on any media platform. You never did all that until when the police called you and you now started lying that your phone was hacked. That's a big lie.
Right.
And the police did not do nothing about it.
Right. So, what's your name, please, sir?
The bossman.
The bossman. In response to what you just said, this is why I said the entire autopsy and toxicology was all fake, despite the fact that the autopsy was ready on the 21st. When Darusha debunked everything we just talked about now, what did that autopsy say? That autopsy say we received an unembalmed body with tattoos. So you are now saying the body was not embalmed, siding Darusha, which gives me the impression that Darusha is inside the whole plan. Okay. That's my own thing.
Hello, ma.
Let
Yes.
me please say something, please.
Hold on. Lest I forget, please. I want I want you, please, or how can you help us with Apple to retrieve? We know we can't MOHBAD's phone, but the information and the iCloud, please.
Good question. Good question.
Dr.
I
Kemi,
want to ask you question.
before you answer
Let me
that
tell you
question,
how it's done.
before you
Let me
answer
tell you how
Please,
it's
one
done.
after the other, bossman.
You want me? Okay, let me answer that
Bossman,
question.
you want to add to it? Okay.
yes, before you answer that question, Dr. Kemi, I am currently, because I came to the US for the protest that they did at the NMS lab. Actually,
You are there.
and yes, I am. I actually organized that protest, and we
Did
actually
you
went
hear
to
my
the,
tips
the
that what you have
neighborhood.
to do?
We went to invite the neighborhood newspapers to cover the event. Today, I am going to the CNN, and I'm also going to the neighborhood to escalate this matter on that.
Yeah.
And that is likely we're going to do another protest right in front.
You have to. Did you hear what I said in the beginning? Did you hear my tips?
Yes, because that's why I came up, because I was like exactly what we wanted to.
Hello, Bossman, please hold on that thought, please.
Hold on, we get into the
Dr. Kemi, please on the
I'm going to answer both of
and
you.
the iCloud, please. On the iCloud.
I'm going to let me answer both of you. Let me answer both of you. Bossman, are you in Pittsburgh?
No, currently I'm in DC right now, and even
where is that
not far from
lab?
me right here. DC.
Where is the lab?
The lab is in Pennsylvania.
What part?
Say again.
What part of Pennsylvania is that lab?
Let me check it out.
Where did you guys go?
Let me get it for you. The address. Give me a second.
Were you there? Or you
I was there. I
there?
organized it, though. I did.
What's the name of the city?
Let me give it to you.
The reason why I'm asking is because I want to kind of gauge who you are going to be calling in the media.
The city is Horsham.
Horsham.
Yes. Is
I don't know. I have to look it up. Okay, let me say this to everybody. If you are trying to reach me, let me say this to everybody. If you are trying to reach me, I'm only reachable. I don't use WhatsApp. I'm only reachable on Facebook DM. Just tell you where you met me or where you spoke to me. Facebook DM and Twitter DM. Those are the only places I'm available. And Instagram DM. You can DM me. I'm even using Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter phone to call my children. I don't use all this WhatsApp and all these things anymore. But be in touch with me. Give me the address of the place. But the city is Horsham, inside somewhere in Pennsylvania. I'm trying to see where that is.
Yes.
Is it near Philadelphia?
Journalists. Yeah, we try to work with some journalists here regarding to that NMS lab thing, especially with the ITS lab. And then the Apple
Store. Let me tell you how you're going to pitch the story. It's called pitching the story. When you're pitching a story, okay, the news director is the one that is going to go through, and then the assignment editors, and then the reporters will be sent there. The way you're going to pitch it, okay, you're going to mention IJ MOHBAD, okay, a Nigerian journalist who is also based, okay, in Nigeria and America, is on this investigation. The fastest way is to go to my Twitter account. It's the pinned tweet on top. They can see it. Then you will pitch the Nigerian community as big in their area, that this is very vital. But your main pitch will be about the toxicology test being taken to America. Sure, you hear me, Bossman?
I got you, man. I got you.
You get me, Bossman?
Yeah, I got you, man.
You are going to pitch the fact. What you're going to do, you are going to disgrace the Nigerian government.
Can we have this conversation?
Please, can I come? Excuse me, please. Excuse me, the bossman, please relax first. Sorry, don't be offended. Mr. Public Grexy, please do not be offended. Dr. Journalist, lawyer, I respect you and I thank you for your opinion. I'm not trying to shush anyone, but please, I feel there are some questions that we should take behind the camera. Because if you give the forehand of the information, some people are going to go ahead and counter everything we want to do. So please.
You can't counter this.
No, for the iPhone thing and some other information, please,
they can't counter it. I've already told it in IJ MOHBAD. Let me tell you what's going on. The man said, how can we get the iPhone stuff? Let me tell you what it is. They can't counter it. I don't have the power for iPhone. Okay, Apple records on iCloud is only accessible by law enforcement.
I know you are right.
WhatsApp records
you are right.
accessible by journalists.
You are correct.
And law enforcement. Is everybody listening?
Well, should we not forget that we said that the government, that some people are saying allegedly that the government are also working. They also have law enforcement who can go ahead of this. That's what I'm saying. Please.
No, that's what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is we are not what you are saying is that you don't want us to say too much. So
yes,
it's not about saying too much. They are the only ones that can get it, and they are not getting it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The answer to the question that the guy asked me before, Bossman, Dr. Kemi, can you help us get the Apple records? I can get anything that has to do with WhatsApp. Journalists, if it's WhatsApp, Facebook, or Instagram, journalists can get records from Meta.
Exactly,
but when it comes to GPS, I trust only law enforcement in a criminal case. Can you understand?
We understand you, man. We understand you, man. These things are law enforcement that can do it.
They can do it, but they don't want to do it.
They don't want to do it. I understand. They don't want to do it. So
I can do it.
Listen, hold on. If you guys push on with your protest and elaborate it and push it so hard.
Push it at the protest.
So this is trying to get the attention of the. We are working with some journalists right here. Even in Pennsylvania and in Washington D.C. So
investigative.
Yes, investigative journalists. Yes.
Bossman, the journalists you are working on, let them see the work I have done. Let them see what the Nigerian government is doing. Let them see how they're trying to suppress and underreport the news through the mainstream media, and let them know the mainstream media in Nigeria does not work like the U.S. media. Let them know that all our grievances in Nigeria. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes.
All our grievances in Nigeria, we have nobody to report to. Okay? Because the people we're going to report to own the media. If you have a problem in Nigeria, who are you going to? TVC channels? It's owned by the politicians and businessmen. Let the American media know that. Because in America, you cannot have media ownership and be a politician or a businessman. Before Jeff Bezos, Amazon, could buy the Washington Post, it was a long time. You need to know how the world works. That's why I came here.
Let me ask you one more question. Bossman, there's a question I want to ask her before I forget. This thing about MOHBAD's money that is coming in, that is coming in, but it can't go out. Who can help to get this thing unlocked from Sheyi, like to get it out from Sheyi, so that the right people will have it?
Let me tell you, in the beginning of the investigation, around September 18th, I collected the CRT documents for MOHBAD's new company, Immolinization. I told MOHBAD's father this. In fact, I have to send it to him. I collected it. The problem I have is nobody can take this thing from Sheyi because Sheyi was mentioned as a signatory on the business papers. MOHBAD is the main signatory. Sheyi is the number 2 person. If you notice, if you want to see it, go to the IJ MOHBAD thread on Twitter, on my pinned tweet. When I said what I said to Sheyi, Dennis, how are you? I'm on Kombi by you. I'm on a live TikTok, Dennis. MOHBAD, what else do I have? You know? But what I said is that Sheyi is number 2. And because she's number 2, if you look at the document, you notice that I blacked out an area. There's nothing I'm hiding. I just blacked out Sheyi's phone number and home address to protect her. Sure, you understand? But she's the number 2 on the signatory. You can't get her off it. She's the one that put post note. Let me tell you what happened. Wumi's people. Okay, when I say Wumi's people, I don't like to talk about that side. I'm not interested. Team Wumi, your fans and all that. Yabo, Jotonto, all the rubbish people that were supporting her. Those guys started accusing Sheyi of stealing MOHBAD's money on the Immolinization side. So she wouldn't have it. And that's why she did the PMB, post no bill. She went and froze the accounts so that nobody can withdraw, nobody can. But trying to take it from her is going to be hard. MOHBAD's family will need a probate lawyer. I've told Daddy MOHBAD. Probate is the only way you can get any money. Through my Naira Marley. Look at that song now, KPK. But we never KPK now, and peace. I want to rake a lot of streams. Over 700 million self. And in today's naira, 2 billion now. Mama share arithmetic this weekend. Oh, Wale gone now. Look at Little Jerk and Meek Mill, two big American rappers. Meek Mill mentioned it. R.I.P. Mole. I want you know if big clouds now, but their own fans were searching in Mole's song and they were streaming it. Come on, guys. Sure, you understand?
Excuse me, ma. Are you sure Wumi is the way I'm saying? Is Wumi not close to Sheyi? Are they not friends?
They're not friends, though. You might think they're friends. They're friends as of when MOHBAD was alive.
Dr. Kemi.
Dr. Kemi, please, can I quickly say something? The boss man, please, don't be offended. Dr. Kemi, earlier while you talked about the IAA. Yeah, so I just wanted to state something that under where I was taught, I have a little knowledge of healthcare from an international school, yeah, and a family member can have a bit of information of their patient. Like,
right. Are you in UK?
No, I'm not going to state where I am. But
okay. You have to state it. I can't answer your question.
No, I'm not asking, but I'm just trying to clarify something, yeah? So, because you stated that they can't ask, so I was just trying to clarify that asking a question if a certain document was sent to a particular lab is not a breach of breaking law. But now asking for further information like the test results and all that, it depends. They can still release it, but it's going to go through another process.
It doesn't depend. We're Americans. We are Americans. We have a Health Information Portability Privacy Act. It was a law, 1996 law. That's why I'm asking where you are.
And I'm going to say that even the school that I got trained from is also an American school. I'm not going to mention my location. Ma'am, please, I'm not going to mention my location. But I'm just trying to say
so this question is meaningless. I'm sorry I'm yelling. It's a waste of time.
Hold on, ma'am. I'm not asking you a question. I'm trying to say that the part where the HIPAA was done, that the result was okay. Where they had to give the NMS saying they didn't do it is true. Because you been saying that means how could they believe such response? You understand that they can't give information. That information can be given. No, I'm just trying to clarify that info. Hold on, ma'am, please. I'm just trying to clarify that information can be given. Oh, do you have a patient here? And that's just like, I gave a scenario earlier to one of these people that you can go to a hospital. You heard that your family had an accident. You can't say because of IHPAA, blah, blah, you won't know if this is the hospital. When they're told that this is the hospital, oh, you go there, you mention the name of the person, they help you check, oh, this person is here or this person is not here. And that was what happened with that MOHBAD's case. And another thing, this is a murder case. The father has a right. This is a family member. If he can prove himself,
they don't have no rights under HIPAA. Sorry,
he has a right under the HIPP law. And I'm going to even let me go check for it.
You might not. You
can. Asking a question if somebody was sent there.
You cannot. And then everybody has misrepresented the lab. The lab never said they didn't do anything.
No, the lab said they don't have that person's name there. That's
maybe they can't use identifiable objects. They can't use
They don't have the patient there. So that's what I'm just trying to
say. They cannot use identifiable factors. UK and Canada.
They can. As long as Baba has a lawyer and the consent of Baba relating that is the relation to this patient that was murdered. There's a murder case going on. We just want to know if this person's sample was sent to.
Okay, I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm not trying to cut you off, but there's somebody on.
There are some people that
justice for MOHBAD
under their law. That's why I just feel like
Molly, hold on. Justice for MOHBAD.
Yes.
Justice for MOHBAD.
Hello, ma. Yeah.
Are you there? Listen to what I have to say. I didn't mean to cut her off, but when I came on here, like I said, irrelevant stuff was being talked about. Somebody in the court, somebody going to protest. Let's leave the relevant stuff. If you don't want to say your location, don't get into that side of the conversation. NMS never really said they did not do a test. Okay, what NMS was trying to tell you is that HIPAA law, we cannot use identifiable objects. Did you do a test for somebody from Nigeria here? Yes or no? They might be able to tell you, yes, we did a test from Nigeria. Did you do MOHBAD's test? They can't tell you that. And I'll tell you the reason why. You can be family all you want. It happened to me. And I'm screaming because I'm passionate about this case. It is personal to me. Dennis, you're laughing. My neighbor is also laughing. It is very personal to me. That's why I'm telling you that. Listen from MOHBAD. Listen,
hello, Dr. Kemi.
Eh?
I'm at the CNN office right now. Would you like to speak with one of the investigative journalists?
You're talking to a CNN journalist.
I'm right here. So I was
in Atlanta or Washington?
Yes.
In Washington?
Yes, Washington D.C. That's where I am. Like I said, I'm
yeah. I will talk. I'll talk to the reporter right now. I will talk to the reporter right now and tell him to record everything I'm saying, please. I want to be on the record. But before I talk to the reporter, let me just say this. For Name Molly, let me just say this to you.
Hold on. Let them come. They're not here yet. Hold on, please.
Okay, yeah. Let me just say this while everybody's listening. While you have a good point, you won't disclose your location and you don't have to. Everybody has their privacy. However, somebody impregnated me at 22 years old. And 35 years later, he goes to meet my child in America. My son is 37 now and drags an autistic boy to a DNA lab and did a DNA test. I have never seen the DNA test for 3 years now because they're hiding it from me. Because if I see that DNA test, I will apply for child support and it'll be $130,000 for 18 years. So I sent my son to the very place he took him, to the DNA place. Autistic people know where they've been and they know how to get there. He got on a train, went to New Jersey, and he wanted a copy of the DNA test. They refused him. But me and my dad came here and they took a swab. They refused him because his dad ordered the DNA test. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Does everybody understand?
Yeah, but...
Because his father ordered the DNA test. They did not release it to him.
Dr. Kemi?
Yeah?
On NMS...
Lagos State ordered it.
Yes, ma'am. The thing is this. Like 3 different quarters were sent to NMS, including the lawyer involved. He contacted NMS via mail. Even the journalist did
Punch.
Very rigorous investigation on them.
The Punch journalist, right?
Yeah. And even a medical expert in the US. They contacted like 3 to 4 different quarters, contacted NMLs legally, justifiably. And what the same report we're getting was they never got any specimen or any sample from Nigeria at that period. Neither is any name. Imole Aloba Oladimeji
Public, we're on the same page. Let that CNN reporter come here. We're on the same page. And the page is nothing was sent to America. You hear I said?
Well, the way you're sounding as if you're defending them.
Defending who? I'm not defending the lab. Let me tell you what it is. People got it wrong. A journalist from Punch did an investigation. Punch put it out. When Punch put it out, what did they put as their headline? US lab said they never did anything for MOHBAD, right?
Yeah.
Nigerians were like hailing me. Kemi Olunloyo already told us. I did not investigate NMS. I did not investigate lab. What Kemi Olunloyo told us, what the was trying to say was that Chebi Kemi is offering America. You understand? So that's what those ones were just saying. Chebi Kemi told they didn't take any NMS lab. NMS lab is trying to defend them. HIPAA. And I was trying to explain to the Name Molly lady that HIPAA still has to be defended. You know what I'm saying? Think about what me. Only my defend HIPAA now. Sure, you understand what I'm saying. I called that DNA test place in New Jersey. And I said, listen, I need to get my child support and I need that DNA test. Oh my God, that's for me. You didn't order it because of HIPAA. You have to go to the person that ordered it or get a court order. Do you get it?
Okay.
That is what we now want to do to fuck them up. If we can get a court order. That's why the money that they're donating for MOHBAD's dad. Normally, I'm not mad at you or nothing. And you don't have to reveal your location. But what I'm saying is, this is the reason why the money that they're donating for Baba MOHBAD, that GoFundMe and the Access Bank, people should continue donating there because he might need a US lawyer on US soil who will get a court order for NMS to release anything they have. Because Nigerians, if there's one single Nigeria working in that lab, only about 4 Google papers in. You understand what I'm saying, public? problem. Normally, do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you understand what I'm saying? If NMS actually has an employee in there, yeah, exactly. If they have an employee there, because Nigerians capable of. After Hush Puppy, I've learned about forgery.
Well,
let me tell you,
Dr. Kevin, what we are waiting for, Naimeli, please.
I'm hearing you.
What we are waiting for from NMS is an official statement from them.
Are they going to give it?
Well, they gave an acknowledgement letter that they are going to mail their own official statement to the emails given to them. They
should give us an official statement. They should give us an official statement of court order.
Well, I'm very sure with the statement letter written by the authority of that lab, they should, matter of days, get across to us a statement, an official.
Public, let me tell you something. Public, let me tell you something. No be juju. Public. Statements will come out on letterhead and everything. We are NMS lab. People are inquiring about Hilario. Look, do the lab test for him. The letter will end up saying, because of HIPAA law, we can't give information. And it cannot back out order for people. Court order.
Can I read some part of this HIPAA law for you people? I don't get it. I need to search this part and read it. It says that the family. Please.
If we wait for some time, we'll apply for a court order. We'll apply for a court order if we wait and we don't get it.
Let me say another thing. I will tell Daddy MOHBAD today that he should begin this new autopsy fast because timeliness is something. When they do this new autopsy, let them try and see if they can extract any fluids from MOHBAD. At this point, it's almost impossible, but anything. If paracetamol, acetaminophen, and dihydramine is not in that boy's fluid, you know that the whole thing was a sham.
Read this part, please. My question.
Go ahead.
Hold on, please. Mr. Grexy, don't be offended.
You can.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, please. I'm still on it because of what I was briefed, while I was being trained. Because sometimes when the patient is going to die, the family needs to know, in case of anything that the patient will reveal to the family, you understand, and not reveal to the doctors. That's why sometimes at that HIPAA law, there is a bit of, how do I put it? It depends on the case. There's a bit of a broken rule, like they still bent their rules, their principles for it. So the thing that is, let me just read this part for you people. Hold on, please, just 1 minute. Hold on, please. So the thing is this: does the HIPAA privacy rule permit the doctor to discuss a patient's health status, treatment, or payment arrangements with the patient's family and friends? The answer is yes. The HIPAA privacy rule specifically permits covered entities to share information that is directly relevant to the involvement of a spouse, family members, friends, or other persons identified by a patient in the patient's care or payment for health care. Let me pause here. So I'm not saying that this is even a murder case, and the father is asking, okay, this result, because when they were, according to the Punch, when Punch came out, the government had released their own results, meaning they finished handling whatever it is. This is like now after. They can ask a question. This is the father. I'm sorry, this is what we got from you people. Did you get any sample, or did you have a patient who was sent? Do you have anybody's name by this? And NMS, being that they are credible, they want to keep their image at a good credit because this is another country. And now definitely they would have Googled around and seen that there is a case up there. And if the family of the investigator who went there to ask that question gets an answer saying that this person was not sent according to NMS, why should we come here and say no, that NMS can't say that because of HIPAA law? HIPAA law still has a way of breaking rules. And the NMS, they're going to defend themselves. So even if people want to go and say HIPAA law broke rule and the NMS broke rule with HIPAA law, they are going to trash you. They're going to trash anyone. And I feel that's why even the government or the pathologists who read that result have not countersued Punch till now, because they will lose a lot. So please, let's be careful with this Ipalo. I just feel I should share that.
Guys, I have to leave. Oh, I have to leave. The NDLA starts in 15 minutes. Can I just say something? Who is the CNN person? Who is calling CNN? Boss man.
Thank you. That is still okay for them to be able to respond to it.
Guys, we are all on the same page. Remember, we Nigerians are seen as daft to them. They don't think we're intellectual. They think we're stupid. If you don't take lab tests from outside the country. And another thing, illiteracy, which I've told everybody here, we must never think it's an abusive word. It is one thing to know how things work. If Daddy MOHBAD had known that they're sending a toxicology test for his son's death and body to America, he would never have allowed that. Olumakoko shot one down. Why would you have to send it? If I had known Baba MOHBAD before then, I would have questioned it. Why would you take, why on fucking, excuse me, I don't want to, I'm angry. If I have a heart that's beating, I mean, don't know. Anyone abroad on this space knows that you can always choose to donate your organs if you die in a car accident. On your driver's license is there, I'm a donor. If I say I'm a donor and somebody, any country in Africa that I'm in, is it my heart that they will take to America first? They won't find another heart closer. But a lab test, Whitney Houston's toxicology test, was the most waited for in this world, followed by Amy Winehouse. Whitney was my friend. I was the blogger for her reality show, Being Bobby Brown. I wanted to know what killed her. She was in a bathtub. Did she drown? They said no. But she took crack cocaine that morning because the cameras outside, the CC cameras of the Beverly Hilton, noticed her at the pool with a man and they were exchanging something. The crack dealer came. So I wanted to know. All of us were waiting. It is the most anticipated toxicology test. And it's the same one that we anticipated for MOHBAD, but they only took 8 weeks. Whitney Houston, 6 weeks standard. Everybody's toxicology test, even Michael Jackson, who was getting a huge dose of propofol because he wanted to come back in a concert. And propofol keeps him awake so that he can practice. Michael was practicing, and that doctor, that black doctor, kept injecting him propofol. He went to jail for 1 year because he had to. Because Michael was the one that ordered him to keep giving him the injection. How long did Michael's autopsy take? The biggest 3 autopsies that the world waited for, Michael, Amy Winehouse. Amy's was alcohol in the end. And Whitney Houston, 6 weeks. MOHBAD, 8 weeks. 8 months. So we have a problem. And I've said it from day one that there was no autopsy taken to America. And if you think the Punch reporter was just playing, no, he wasn't playing. They actually went behind their back and they did an extensive investigation. And let me tell you something about that Punch reporter. It wasn't just punching it because it wasn't just punch. Now, Imali, are you listening? It wasn't just punch that did that investigation. There were two US reporters behind that Punch investigation, but you can't identify them. Sure, you understand me?
I agree with you. I understand.
You have to protect them as sources.
Well, hello, Dr. Kevin.
Yeah?
Yeah, please, I want to ask a question as an experience.
Yeah, be quick, because then go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
If autopsy and if toxicology is done,
yeah,
will toxicologists give a specific date that life left the body?
No. It doesn't tell, but he can tell you, toxicology will only tell you the decomposition states. He can't give you the dates the body died. He can only give you the decomposition state. Whether it's rigor mortis, the body decomposes in a certain way.
Even it has experienced rigor mortis even before it was put.
Rigor, then liver, then everything turns into water. But you can see in the grave that.
Like how many hours body be on ground before rigor mortis start taking place?
It's almost immediately.
Almost immediately.
And it is almost immediately. If you look at research on how the Muslims bury their people, I'm Christian. If you look at how the Muslims bury, it's almost immediately. The Muslims are the only ones in the world that bury their people the same day. It will be us, yeah. The Muslims are the ones that bury their people the same day or the next day. Maximum the next day.
We'll first relax again before being active. Or once it started, it goes on and on.
Rigor mortis turns to liver mortis. The entire body turns into water in the end. If you look at Mohbad's casket, there was water coming around his neck area. Did you notice that part?
Dr. Kemi.
Red blood and water was coming out of his neck area in the casket. Did you notice that part?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's why people said they saw
that mixture of blood and water was coming from his neck because that's where the trauma happened, his neck. So what they did was they kept him at home and didn't want to go to the hospital because the hospital will open a can of worms of criminal charges. And that's why they decided to treat him at home and rigged his body with a cocktail of drugs. And they were going to the pharmacy every day, buying new things, and they just rigged him. And that's why they kept him at home. Now, when he died, they had to take the body to a hospital where they can now say, oh yeah, give me a death certificate kind of thing. So they won't get into trouble. You can't bury somebody in Lagos State without the government's notice, knowing, not to talk of MOHBAD. So at the end of the day, when they got to Perez Hospital, Perez declared him brought in dead. Okay, America declared DOA, dead on arrival. But before they got to Perez, did you see what happened in the car? Did you notice a muscle flex in Mohbad's neck? Did you guys see that? The muscle flexing in Mohbad's neck. Technically, a normal human being will say he was still alive, right? I think he was actually dead by that time because muscles are still going to move, contractions. I mean, go and kill a cow and you see the muscles still moving when the cow has been cut into meat before we boil it to eat.
Dr. Kemi.
So he was dead.
Dr. Kemi, let me use this opportunity to ask you this question. If they discover rigor mortis on MOHBAD at the first hospital, how is it possible for you to take a dead body on the bike in Lagos State? They would claim that they put MOHBAD.
I don't understand. Say that again.
If they claim that they saw they noticed a rigor mortis on the body of MOHBAD at the hospital, is it possible for, according to the CTC, they said they put MOHBAD on the bike? Is it possible to carry a dead body that's already experiencing rigor mortis on the bike?
No, who said the body was experiencing rigor mortis? It wasn't.
That was at the hospital. They said they noticed a rigor mortis, the body of MOHBAD on his body.
Oh, I never heard that ever in this investigation.
It's in the CTC.
Okay, but if the hospital did see that before they declared him dead, rigor mortis is on there. You can carry anything on a bike. Trust me. There was a woman we caught in Lagos. She was backing a baby. The baby was dead. And she had a bag full of meat. She said it's meat, and the smell of the meat was so rancid.
That was the
baby. Human body.
MOHBAD was about 6 feet tall.
No, I'm just trying to explain to you that you can carry somebody on a bike, even if they're dead, regardless of the rigor mortis.
So not really rigor mortis, ma'am.
Rigor mortis is only something that happens when someone is dead. If you are still alive, you will not go through rigor mortis. Do you understand what I'm saying? Bossman. Hello, Bossman.
I'm with you.
Bossman, can you hear me? If you are still alive, you experience rigor mortis. Bossman, your iPhone, all right? If your iPhone is 100%, you are happy and you start using your internet, right?
Yes, correct.
Like me, a journalist here, I wake up at 5 a.m. and my iPhone is 100 from last night's charging. I turn on the Wi-Fi and I start my work. 5 a.m. by 12 noon, my iPhone is hitting 11%. iPhone 12. When I hit 11%, okay, I know that I have to charge, right? Okay, yes, it will say low power. It will warn you low power. Do you get my points?
Yes.
When MOHBAD was given ceftriaxone, he began convulsing. All right. If there was a clinical setting, meaning a hospital, if it was in a hospital environment, they would have immediately injected him with
either diphenhydramine, which we don't use in injection, or epinephrine. Nigeria uses epinephrine. MOHBAD, at the time we started convulsing on that ceftriaxone, that they wanted to use as the real main cause of death, even though he could have been stabbed and they were treating him, and he ultimately died from the drug. It's phenomenon attorneys in America and around the world call causation. And I want everybody on this live is super viral. Learn something. You may not like any lawyer, but I'm an intellectual. And I took it from my father. Learn something. Causation. When you're a journalist, you have to know everything. Causation. Everybody should go to causation and type it in Wikipedia. And I want you to type causation with regards to law and go read some cases in America. You see, the causation part is you stab somebody and you are not treating the stab wound. You don't want police to catch you. Now they treat the stab wound inside house. You now give a drug where the person now react to. They convulse and they died. So you get me? If you were a registered nurse in that house, working with an auxiliary nurse, that's the problem Ogedengbe did. The lady, Feisha Ogedengbe, she was an auxiliary nurse. If she had an RN next to her, they would have been covered. But she didn't. And then if it was in a clinical setting, we would have given MOHBAD epinephrine. Even though MOHBAD was convulsing, about to die, his iPhone is 11%, 6%.
We can also do a CPR, right?
6%.
Now we also do a CPR.
Man, what happens when your iPhone is 6% and you charge it? What happens in 15 minutes? Will it not reach 25?
Yes, correct.
That's what epinephrine will do to MOHBAD. But they were not with epinephrine. They were inside the house doing doctor and nurse. So that is one of the reasons why they were hiding something. Please hold on, Justice Fomba, let me finish this. The causation effect, okay, a very prominent case in the US had a woman who was dying of cancer. The woman did not like her son did not like her. The cancer was ultimately killing her. So she was left in the house with her son. Her son now injected her with a poison to kill her. And she died. When they did the autopsy, do you know what they found? They found that she had a heart attack. And it was not the poison that killed her. That's what we call causation. So the real thing that may have even caused the heart attack could have been the poison. You see what I mean? So lawyers argued this thing forever in this case. That's why I want all of you to read causation. It might be a drug that killed MOHBAD, convulsion from ceftriaxone, anaphylaxis. That's enough to kill you. Secondary to what? In medical field, we call it secondary. Secondary to a stab wound. And that's what I want. I want to know the secondary too. They can't get away with this. I want one be by myself in the medical field.
Dr. Kemi, have you seen a copy of the inconclusive result that they gave to us at the corona?
I've seen it though. I went on that.
Did you check the date? Did you see that there's a lot of discrepancies in those?
Like mad. The date.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
The autopsy.
You cannot put that kind of date in America. We don't set a date. They don't date like that.
You notice the format?
Yes, the format is right. See, I have a copy of NMS, confirmed copy, and you bring it to NMS lab. We've given it to them.
The format is wrong.
That's why I don't understand why the team with me are not saying nothing about this.
We are going to fight.
Not even protesting. They are okay with the results.
Boss man, when the talks came out, media.
Exactly. She's okay with
MOHBAD, Soros, media. No family members spoke out except the father. So nobody else is sympathizing with MOHBAD's death. Karimo did not talk out. When the autopsy came out, why were they all silent? There was no toxicology sense in America. Hey Joe, I have to go because they are calling me now.
Dr. Kemi, Dr. Kemi,
what you said, what the wife said, even gave people more evidence and more insight that she knows something about. Because how could they come with that result?
Yeah, I said it already.
And the next,
I know how MOHBAD died, but I'm scared to say.
The next thing was to jump on the media and start saying because the father buried him horribly. That's why the autopsy was.
I busted them.
The result was like that. So
let me say this quickly.
They should just go and bury the body.
Public, I've already busted them on that one. There would be no corners to take it. She said because they didn't put him in the mortuary. Wumi, you said that Mohbad could have done proper autopsy if they are putting him in mortuary. Kemi, you're a lawyer to Wumi. You are a liar. You're a fucking liar. The police officer inside the DPO's office, he called me. Auntie Kemi, Ejo, Emma Darukomi. I get that a lot from everybody. As an investigative journalist, you must have people inside. And they will always beg you to remember not to say their name. There was a police officer inside the DPO's office. When Wumi's mother called and told that DPO not to give Wumi's mother called a DPO. She influenced a DPO not to issue a police report. You cannot go to a mortuary anywhere in Nigeria without a police report. They need to know.
That's why we said, Dr. Kemi, that's why we're asking for proper phone forensic. The government doesn't want to give us that forensic.
You know what she did? She influenced the police report from her US location and told them not to give them that police report. So because there was no police report, there was also a report, a death certificate from Perez, and there was only one person holding it, Wumi, and Wumi will not give it to Mr. Aloba. Mr. Aloba said it on my interview. Money Ejo, you got to tell the police report to that. If I my dead body see, if I see house girl, the woman that cleans our compound in Aja, 18 of us in a building. When she died, her dead body was inside her shack down the road, and it smelled the whole neighborhood. So what did you do? Wumi did not give me the death report. If there was a death certificate or a police report, they would have put that body in the mortuary. But because they had to, the cocktail of drugs, guys, you know what's the opposite of fast forward? Rewind, everybody. Take your brain and rewind. Owoha had not done the press conference about the drugs yet. At that time, Mohbad had just died. Rewind. They wanted to hide the cocktail of drugs they rigged him with. That's why they rushed to bury Mohbad. Aloba had no choice. He had to rush and bury his son. His mother-in-law wanted to hide the cocktail of drugs that Wumi and company rigged into his body, so they denied him a mortuary stay. Aloba took the body to a place to bury. The man I spoke to said a mini chairman estate, and he got buried and by. Bring that body in the morning, and they buried it quickly in the morning. So all the Nigerians sitting down there saying, Shebi is the one that rushed and buried him. Shebi is the one hiding something. Nigerians, wake up. He was not the one hiding anything. Nobody can keep a dead body. He was denied access to that mortuary. I'm an investigative journalist, and I investigate and I detect things like detective. Does it make sense now?
Dr. Kemi.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kemi.
Dr. Kemi, so Baba Mohbad has a case. He can sue the police for that, right?
He has to.
Yeah. Yes.
But
so
then they will threaten him, and then he won't be able to walk and look around the shoulders.
Exactly.
Anything Baba Mohbad has to do involving the police now must even be outside the country. In Nigeria, they kill you and make you look like an accident. That's how they do it. And the distractions in the case, anybody, I will call you out seriously. If I hear from anybody in this Nigeria telling me that Mohbad father should go and do DNA test for Mohbad, they will use that to distract you. Nobody must distract this case. Mohbad's father will be Mohbad. Mohbad's mother will be Mohbad.
Yes, I agree with you. 100%. 100%, Dr. Kemi. As a coach.
Mohbad be DNA lost inside here. The only DNA that is required right now.
Dr. Kemi.
It's your friend that said Baba Mohbad should go and do DNA with the body.
Who is my friend? Who is that one? I thought.
No.
That is
Iyabo.
Who is the friend?
Mo lọ sórí NDLA Spaces now. Today is the 100th episode, and I'm going to be a major speaker with Chairman Marwa. Let me do 5 minutes more with you guys. But do you understand what happened with that rushing to bury business? They wanted to hide the cocktail of drugs they rigged his body in. So they buried him, put a big stone, everything, mobile till law. Police watch Shebogo forensics, pẹ̀lú nurse. Yeah, it's so. Did you hear what the nurse's mother said? My daughter was a good person. She has a lot of information that she can damage people in that case. They're still holding her, but they can't prosecute her. Have you noticed that the DPP is not? Have you noticed that the DPP is not trying to prosecute anybody? They've released Prime Boy.
Dr. Kemi, do you know something? Is it possible for you to, if the nurse claimed that she gave injection to MOHBAD, anti-tetanus, and they did not find that they did not even detect that in the results. It didn't come out.
Excuse me, Mr. Who is talking?
No, Bossman talking first.
It's
Bossman, the question is, Bossman, can I ask you a question? Are you in the medical field? Are you in the medical field?
No.
You are not even in the medical field. Why share? Sure, you understand Yoruba? Bossman. Yoruba, yeah?
Yeah, I was in the for governorship now.
Amen. Why they win? Why share? You know the reason why I ask you for in the medical field? I was
talking about way back then when you wanted to.
Hey, why you will make it?
Never done.
Yeah, why share it? But you know why I asked you why are you in the medical field? Because you brought out a very important thing as a pharmacist. And you see, I'm brag. I'm not brag now. I'm 6-7 years pharmacy school. As a pharmacist and a clinical one, tetanus is the first thing that you show in that toxicology test.
Was in the body of MOHBAD. That was
the gram.
Was the body MOHBAD.
Gram right there. If anything was to show up in that list, tetanus should be there because tetanus. So
why everything with me saying not talking about this, and you are accepting that result because to you?
Moti sọ pé àwọn náà pa moti tweet ẹ ṣé nígbà tí mo sọ pé wùmí ló pa bàbá ṣé wọ́n á arrest you. Ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn ọmọ mi tó ń sọ tiwọn ni àwọn ọmọ mi ń sọ pé ẹ mọ́ mi.
Actually surface video kan tún surface again tí MOHBAD mu ó mu kíni drink yẹn o.
Bitters.
Kíni drink tán polówó yẹn that drink tán lọ ṣe show fún yẹn. Yes. That thing. How come we did not see the result did not come out? They did not detect anything like that in the body.
Let me tell you what's the general bitters. The reason is because you see the general bitters, right? The general bitters contains alcohol, and the alcohol content of bitters in Nigeria is usually 30 to 40%, very high. When I was in Ghana, I compared to Ghanaians. Okay, the last time I went to Ghana in the last 1 year for three times for the last 1 year. But when I was in Ghana in April for the March for the games, I compared the way bitters are marketed in Ghana. Number one, in Ghana, if you're a celebrity, you can't promote bitters. No celebrity must promote that. They advertise on billboards. When I looked at the contents of their own, it's very similar to the contents of Nigeria, 30 to 40% alcohol. Now, even though, yes, he drank the general bitters, in the 24 hours that he drank those bitters, because he was holding that red cup on top of the car, on the 24 hours, alcohol will technically have been metabolized off. Sure you get. What we're looking at is things like procaine G, tetanus, ceftriaxone and all that, okay, things that cannot be metabolized easily or things that have long half-lives. I mean, on that freeze show, everybody, the pharmacologist, the freeze will not the freeze be a little so. What's a nurse, which is a nursing assistant. And by me, what do we study? People think pharmacists just go to school and study chemistry. We have something called pharmaceutics, the component of drugs and how they're going to react to the body. Then we have pharmacotherapeutics, how drug A is going to act on the liver versus the kidney. You know, the way I illustrate it is like, if you have a drug in the system, that drug will look at the kidney and say, hello, I'm here. Are you the one that's metabolizing me today or is the liver? That's pharmacotherapeutics. We have pharmacokinetics. The actual way and time the drug enters and starts working. You have a headache, you use paracetamol. You take one. Will your headache be cured by 1 or 2? Depends. That's pharmacokinetics. We have pharmacognosy, the study of drugs from the herbal roots. This is why I got into a fight with Niger Pharma, because it was giving people medical advice without a doctor or a pharmacist nearby, telling them to eat bitter cola for malaria. What if that person is on high blood pressure medications? Bitter cola contains a lot of caffeine. You know, and their heart will start fluttering and palpitation. Next thing you know, they have a heart attack. 300,000 Nigerians are dying from these things. So there's pharmacognosy, pharmacotherapeutics, pharmaceutics, you know, I want to study it. How much can you not study? Pharmacology. That's all the nurses are required. Pharmacology. That is it. But every pharmacist does not end up where I am. The BS in pharmacy was eradicated because they figured that we don't need it, and every pharmacist has to know clinical. And that's why in 1988, we were the last set of BS pharmacy. There's no BS pharmacy degree again in America and Canada. And I went to the oldest pharmacy school in the United States, Philadelphia College of Pharmacy. So you can't come here and say you are arguing with me.
Yes, Dr. Kemi.
One more question. Bossman, A380 pilot, argue.
Yeah.
Dr.
Dr. Kemi, one more question for you, man.
for Airbus. Plane to that be late.
Dr. Kemi, let me ask you a question, please, man.
Ask that question.
For the body of MOHBAD right now, forensic pathologists, they fly them down to Nigeria. They should be able to detect any play or any play or tricks that they play on that body. They should be able to do proper forensic on that body. Am I right or wrong?
You're right. You're right. And that's why I want another autopsy, because I need externals. I need what is on his body externally. That autopsy said tattoos. I don't want to see tattoos. You said unembalmed body and tattoos. But you can contradict around in left, right, and center. And you call them embalmed. She Baba MOHBAD ojú Baba MOHBAD funny. Baba MOHBAD and to be in your support real more want to shave you want to embalm. They want to put on embalmed body. Contradictions to put on autopsy.
Sorry, please.
And it also stated that superficial wound with a 1.6 centimeter depth.
That's the stab wound, I beg.
Thank you, ma'am. Let me educate.
That is the stab wound. But my dear, is that Naimoli? Naimoli, were you the one that just spoke about the superficial wound?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
My dear, let me ask you a question. Does your average Nigerian in the motor park listening to MOHBAD, the touts out there, and Kesari and Co., do they know the meaning of superficial wound?
Else they do, they don't.
Exactly. So, I want someone at Gbogbo in Lagos State. One brainwash Gbogbo public into medical. In today, 59.9 years old, I cannot read or write Yoruba because the government forced us in 1973 to choose a language that's indigenous or French. Yoruba or French in our side, Igbo or French in the east. I picked French. And that's why I'm fluent in French. I can speak in Haiti, Ivory Coast, Togo, Canada, and everywhere. When the Canadian immigration people were abusing me when we first entered, like I heard everything they were saying and I replied them in French. And because of that, I left Nigeria at 14 years old. I could not read or write Yoruba. Phonetically in Ikonomoliko, I can write Olushibiri, all that stuff. Ask BBC Yoruba now, when they came to me, one lady just called me out of the blue and came me, English Yoruba, bye. I may not be able to speak, read or write Yoruba, but I can speak it well and I can educate the ordinary Nigerian on the streets. I want to streets here and videos. I'm not going to leave this thing. I will be doing these videos continuously. It's a real. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Bossman, are you there?
I'm with you, man.
Let's do this. Let's do this. This is a weekend. Let me finish church on Sunday where I am, and I want to do a lengthy. TikTok has 1 hour now. Okay, and sometimes people get bored by the time it's 10 minutes. But I want to do a lengthy thing about MOHBAD, straight Yoruba video. There you get. It's going to be a big production, but I want everybody to go to my thing though, my YouTube. That's where I'm going to put it. YouTube, Kemi Talks. Everybody should go and subscribe there. I want to do an update on MOHBAD case for the Yoruba person on the street, for the street people. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My announce when it's out. For the people on the street that don't even know what's going on. Superficial wound, autopsy. Autopsy, Aja market. They just think they can fool us. Nigerians don't have to. What they think is exactly.
They need to know.
Look at what Showore said. Showore's group, Revolution Now, blame the police for botching the case. But look at what Showore said some years ago. Showore said that.
Nothing covered with me now. Maybe I want Showore. I want Sahara reporter. Don't cover with me up. I
think so, but Revolution Now, Lucia press conference. Revolution Now did a press conference saying that the police botched the MOHBAD case. And I attended that press conference online. I watched everything, and it's true. But what do I want to tell the people of Ikorodu, the people of Aja? Shomo, I want level Kesari in my fish video. Shomo Kesari. Do you guys know Kesari?
Kesari, yes, I know Kesari.
Kesari is doing content now. He's on the streets, but monetize because he's doing content and I like his content. Sometimes I reply to his content and all. Level and Kesari in my video. ẹ̀yin tèmi ní Kòròdú, ẹ̀yin tèmi ní Àjà, ẹ̀yin tèmi ní gbogbo ibi tí Ìmọ́lẹ̀ ti jẹ́ best artist. Malian ni at one point. Ẹ lè má jẹ́ Malian anymore because of nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀. But ọ̀rọ̀ tèmi, Dr. Ológun lèmi, okay, clinical pharmacist, journalist dẹ̀ ni oníròyìn. I'm going to speak Yoruba. I can speak Yoruba better than him. I just can't read it. BBC Yoruba told me that I should try and read their page every day. I tried for a year. I still can't write. It's the markings. I don't understand the me, do, and all that. It's very confusing. But when they came to me, like they just came all, they saw a live video I was doing on my birthday, 55th birthday in 2019. They watched the live video. It was one of the producers. She just came and left a message. Asking me, hey, she was like breathing hard, like she was going to have a heart attack. Asking me, hey, so Yoruba, I think I interview you. Why not? No publicity is bad publicity. Let us interview you. So my interview on BBC Yoruba, go and watch it. It was so viral. I just sat down and they were asking questions.
A quick one, ma'am, before people,
I'm going to do a video.
For the toxicology and the autopsy, please kindly contact maybe Mr. Gurexi. I don't know if you can put that as your account or you put as the ACA. I'm not going to mention it full. When I say ACA, you should know what I mean by that. So you can also go to Honorable York Daddy's page to get the main ACA.
Yeah, Molly, you said this over.
Send me a Facebook.
Thank you.
Send me a Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram DM. Send all those things to me. I don't open my TikTok DM. There was 300 messages there, and I can't deal with, chat. I don't chat. You know what I mean? So, and I don't have an assistant to help me check messages too much anymore. It used to be my son, and my son goes to work every day. But so what I want you guys to do is send me everything. What I want to do is I want to just do a video on what I found. No offense. I don't want to incorporate any other person's ideas into mine. I want to tell the streets what I found and what the street has to know. And it can't be me streets when you pay. Shiwaman said, you know the mentality of Nigerians on the street. Some people think when something goes abroad, it's better. You understand me, guys? They think it's better if a toxicology goes abroad. Something that you can do here. Share NDLA rehab centers, collating test and when you're from toxicology. First thing when you enter NDLA rehab center, they have to take your urine, your blood, and they send it to toxicology to see what drugs. You might get there and say, please, this drug is killing me. I saw one guy now, this drug is killing me, tramadol, I want to get off. His family was there, everything. And I said, are you sure? When we did the toxicology for him, they found other things aside from tramadol there. That's why we can do toxicology in Nigeria.
Dr. Kemi, the fact that there was no reading of the anti-tetanus injection in the body of MOHBAD and Oduro don't dey there. How can the last injection that MOHBAD had did not detect that in the result?
It's a lie. Nothing went abroad, George. If I kill a cockroach, okay, if I kill a rat in my house, I won't keep it in my dustbin. It will smell after a week. If I kill a cockroach in my house and I give that cockroach tetanus, that cockroach can still sit in my room for one month in that corner. The tetanus will still be there. You know what I'm saying? Sanwo-Olu is going to be in for Pepe. Oh, lucky to every coach second time. No fair runs. You know what I mean? Guys, I have to do.
I have a question. Before you go.
I have a question, boss man. I have a question, please. Let me talk to her.
I have a question. Hold on, please, before she goes.
This is the whole.
I have a question before she goes, please.
Okay, everybody ask your question one by one. I have my iPhone on Twitter Spaces. Yeah.
Dr. Kemi, this is the host. Please, I don't know. I'm very fine, thank you, ma'am. I really appreciate the fact that you came to my platform today. Thank you so very much.
No problem.
And
Shebi, you don't pray. Oh, Shebi, you pray every day. Eh?
Yes,
nothing is accident. Nothing is accidental. Nothing, no problem.
Ma'am, is there any way I can get to contact you again?
I don't use the phone anymore since I left Nigeria because of what happened in 2021. But you can contact me on Facebook inbox. Sure, you're hearing me.
Okay, ma'am, I can hear you.
Contact me. Wait, let me tell everybody where they can contact me. Number one place to contact me is my email, which is kemiolunlawyer444@gmail.com. It is on my Facebook profile, kemiolunlawyer444@gmail.com. To talk to me, you can also contact me on Facebook fan page inbox. My fan page, the one with 600,000 people. The inbox there, I'm there 24/7. You can contact me there, and that also has a phone parameter. If you want to talk to me on the phone, host, just message me, and if I'm around or I'm online, we can make a phone conversation. The other place is Twitter, X inbox, okay? That one has phone. Twitter has phone too. Then the third place is Instagram, DM. Instagram too has a phone. Sure you get.
Okay.
So please, I want everybody to join us.
So would you remember me when I contact you?
Chairman Mara is making an address now.
Program can systematically address.
Okay, the chairman is making the address now, so I have to go. Who has another question quickly? He's still making the address. I just have to listen so I can answer questions. Who is the other question there?
This is Bossman talking, please. Do you know the ISI Bioscience Lab? That's a third-party lab that the Lagos State government claimed that they use these people.
I don't know any of their labs, though. I don't know their labs. I don't know their third-party labs. All I know is that Lagos was the first to have a forensic center, and they claim that they burned it down. Never heard of it. Eh?
Do you know the owner of the lab? That third-party lab. His name of the person, Richard.
Which one? The one in Lagos?
No, the one in Pennsylvania that they claim that they use a lab to take the specimen to NMS.
I don't know any of them. Oh.
I thought you said you.
I don't. Maybe somebody in the mainstream media can tell you that. I don't know. Are you the one that wanted to link me with the CNN person?
Yes, this is Bossman. Yes, talking here.
Bossman, let me tell you what you're going to do. Send me. Host, are you listening? Is host listening?
She's busy now. She's busy.
Is the host listening?
Yeah, she's listening.
I'm here.
Okay, this is what I want you guys to do, right? It's tricky, very, very tricky. Just listen carefully. Go and DM me in Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I will now give you one Nigerian number. One of my Nigerian, they leaked my numbers. I will take that Nigerian number and I will remove it. I will put it inside my phone. So you get. And then I will let you chat me on WhatsApp. It has WhatsApp. I don't use my Nigerian numbers anymore. But when I had to call Daddy MOHBAD, I had to put that SIM card in my phone, in my Android, because my Android has 2 slots. So that I can call the guy, discuss with him for a period of 1 week. I've since removed it. So you get. But you go and DM me. Drop your number. I'll give you the WhatsApp number. Because I only use it. Listen carefully. I only put that SIM card inside that phone when I need to teach a class. You understand me? Like when I'm teaching my monetization classes, Facebook, anything, I use that SIM card for my school to teach people. When I'm done with the class, I remove it straight. But I used it for a week with Daddy MOHBAD. So please, you message me, give me your own number, and I will chat to you from that number. I will enter it this weekend, just for this weekend. Because ordinarily, I don't use phone anymore. So you understand? You guys heard me, right?
Yeah, we heard you, Dr. Ken.
Who else has a question?
Thank you so much for your time.
Look at me multitasking. I'm listening to Chairman Mariwan live on NDLSPC, and everything he's talking about, I have to talk about. Who else has a question?
Some virtually. I do not know if some
other question.
Does anybody have a question?
You have a question? You have any question?
Question. Thank you very much.
No, my brother. Good afternoon, everyone. I do have a question. No. Good afternoon, Dr. Kemi Olunloyo.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, thank you, ma. Era, ma. Ekushe Oluwa, ma.
Ó ṣe jàre gbogbo àwọn tó wà lórí space tuntun búyàn gbogbo yẹn ò necessary.
Ẹ má da ignore ma bọ́ ẹ má sunkún kiri ní ẹ má.
Tó bá fẹ́ justice from MOHBAD láti wà pẹ̀lú wa, má sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ lọ jàre.
Wọ́n máa ń sunkún kiri ní ma, so ẹ má worry nípa wọn. So I'm here to tell you all, gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ dúró fún justice for MOHBAD gangan ẹjọ́ nítorí Ọlọ́run ẹ má gbàgbé account bàbá ó wà lọ́dọ̀ Sister Bukky Jesse ẹni tó máa ṣe sínú GoFundMe àti access bàbá. Please ẹ má gbàgbé to support him. Let's do this for him. I've done mine yesterday and I'm still going to do next week. Please, let's do this for MOHBAD. We're not doing it for Baba. We're doing it for MOHBAD. MOHBAD. Ejo. So thank you. I have loads of people that have done their part and they are still going to do again. You know. So let's go.
I just say
Let them keep crying. Go ahead,
Any amount. When I used to do donations for my crowdfunding for my investigations, I tell Nigerians, any amount, 1,000 naira. Look at 600,000 followers on Facebook for me. If everyone in that Facebook gave me 1,000 naira, 600,000 followers will almost be 6 billion. You know what I mean? So don't look at it like small money. When you say, I don't have money, 1,000, everybody. That's how your celebrities get all their gifts. Somebody will form a WhatsApp group, everybody will donate 1,000. By the time the thing reaches 200 million, they will buy celebrity car, house, everything. That's how that happens. Many people don't know where they get this money from. Crowdfunding is what they call it, and GoFundMe was the one that started it. So if you are not abroad and you can't do GoFundMe, access, because this man is going to need money. Because on my day points, Baba MOHBAD, you might have to hire a US lawyer to get my medical records. Because the minute I get information, order left from NMS, don't get information, nothing went there. Nigeria, Lagos State government collapsed near straight. It will be the biggest story in the world. I'm a retired journalist, but I will make the media blackouts so big for them.
That's
it right there. And we cannot do that if we don't have money in that man's account.
Lab is going down.
Yeah. So even though I said the man should go and bury the boy, I said that on the fact of the toxicology part, because there won't be any meaningful toxicology there now. What we do need, though, is another autopsy. They need to do another autopsy because the superficial wounds was really in his fist. But this one that he's saying in the arm and all that, in the neck, shoulder, do you know the part between the neck and the shoulder? Okay, that part, if it's not going out of anger. What appeal for Wumi? What appeal for Wumi? Lori Twitter. Wumi, come out and say it was an accident. They will give you manslaughter. Manslaughter will give you 5 years. Finish. While they are in prison. Fair admitting. But it's an accident. Do you understand what I'm saying? But they won't admit anything. Please, I have to go now. I'm going to
anybody contribution towards justice for MOHBAD, because we are there already. And we are there. It's for our own good. It's not for Baba MOHBAD's good at all. You know, so that Ali Mokwe, yes, still Kobai Bashi or Tai me get justice Lola. I'm a Nigerian citizen. Sheffield Penny Toba were against the funding. Sheffield fair justice.
Anyone that's against the fund or anyone that calls you fraudsters or anything, ignore them, because the money that you guys are going to spend, should you need, a lawyer, lawyers are not cheap. Should you need a probate lawyer? You know what I mean? Should you need a probate lawyer? Or should you need a court order from a U.S. court because of the fact that they claim they sent this stuff to a U.S. lab? It could be a lot of money. You know that? It's not cheap at all, that kind of stuff. All right, everybody done. Let me go now.
No problem. Please. Everyone standing for justice for MOHBAD that want true justice. Please do not forget to contribute your own money towards justice for MOHBAD, towards the test. Not for eating, it's for tests. Thank you all, so much, and God bless you.
Thanks, everybody.
Mommy Kemi, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, everybody. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
That's not, but when you don't forget to send me your information, because if CNN wants to do something, I'll come on the phone. I'll do a phone interview with them.
Mommy Kemi,
that would be nice if you can get them. It would be very nice to give it a global view. It's a global story.
Auntie Kemi, I wanted to see something. Thank you very much for today. We really appreciate for the lecture.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. It is a global story because it has a global angle. They went to misfire by using a U.S. lab that didn't exist, or a U.S. toxicologist that didn't go anywhere. That's the U.S. angle. And that's how news is done.
I wanted to make one statement because this lady made comment that people are against of the donation. Because I wanted to ask, is it a bad thing for public to ask accountability as the best spend this money? Is there any bad thing?
Is that your problem?
Is it a what?
Ask for this. This public donates money. Is it a bad public to ask? If they can ask about the money, is it a bad? Is it a crime?
If they can.
Is it a bad thing for a public to ask about the money, how they spend this money, how much they pay for lawyer? Is it bad to do the crime?
No, because it's a death. Because it's a death, it's inappropriate. A lot of times when people die, in the media, they tell the media to give the family privacy. If the family is collecting donations for that death, okay, it is not, you don't need a spreadsheet, okay? Like when NSAS happened, we wanted to know how those girls did use the money. And obviously, most of them shared it behind themselves and give you guys food and drinks. But when it comes to family or bereavement, donations for families, a lot of it has to do with funeral expenses when it comes to bereavement. And because MOHBAD hasn't been buried, it's inappropriate. I wouldn't, Entobama Bere will be a journalist. So you understand? It will be a journalist that will ask it, but a member of the public shouldn't be asking that. It's not appropriate.
Okay.
Yeah. Let them donate as much as we need it. Let me just tell you another thing about this whole donation business. Some of these lawyers, they are waiting for MOHBAD's father to call them and then they will slap him with a huge bill. You know what I mean? With donations in Wally. So he too has to be careful where he's spending his money. But let's get the money ready before we need more. For example, autopsies are not cheap. Independent autopsy, I don't even want to say on this live what it entails. So guys, thanks so much. I'll see you guys. If you want to join us with NDLEA on Twitter and Facebook, we're live. I have to go now because the chairman is speaking and all of us that we contributed to the 100 episodes, he wants all of us to address the space. So I have to hear what he's talking about. I have to go and talk there about the decrease in tramadol and other prescription drugs, because as a pharmacist, that's why I joined them 2 years ago, to make sure prescription drugs are not being abused on the streets. God bless everybody. Anyone that wants to message me, please message me on this platform. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, Mom, bye. Thank you so much.
Boss, ma, I'm hearing you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Contribute towards the GoFundMe.
Okay, ask him.
You don't have to ask me that.
No, because you asked a question that is whether I'm